Hey, everybody. How's everybody been? Welcome on back. I'm getting it ready. I'm scrubbing up, brushing my teeth, getting me some damn coffee, because everybody needs some coffee. Eat you a good breakfast, because this thing's about to hit. That was a fun one to make. I liked making that one.
I imagine.
Hello, everybody. How is everybody today? So we got some people coming in. Now that I'm live, like a bunch of people will come in. They always wait. So I think I got a notification about my own channel just now. So I'm a little bit late, but it's okay. We're going to smoke anyways because somebody's clock is 3 minutes late and it's 4:20 somewhere.
Or you're gonna smoke, seeing as it's still illegal here.
Touche, my friend. Touche. So, how are you, Mage?
Not bad. You saw a big stage. I'm a bit out of breath from cutting my lawn with my scythe. Yeah, actually,
If any, go ahead.
it's more of a hip action than arm action, but yeah.
It is. It's your whole. It's like your whole upper body / hip. Yes.
Yeah.
It's not just your arms you're using. You're using your whole back, your hips, your legs. Yeah, you use all of your body. And it's actually really good exercise.
Yeah. I've liked
So
it.
I think the only way we could improve it is if you had a left-handed scythe and went both ways.
They do make left-handed scythes.
I know they do. Literally, the holder on the blade is just on the other end.
The blade is reversed too.
Yeah. Well, that's what it is. They take where they weld the holder onto the blade, they just weld it onto the other end. Just made the blade opposite. That's all it is.
That's not how mine's made. Mine, you actually can remove the blade.
Oh,
It's
you
a-
haven't. I've
yeah,
never seen the new ones.
No. This is an old one. This is actually
it?
this is a custom scythe from Scythe Supply, and they'll customize this. It's made out of wood. It's like it's an old school scythe, and you have to put it
Yeah.
together. And when they sent it to you, and
Yeah.
they gave you a whole kit. It's really nice.
So, but you can like unscrew something and remove the blade to put a new one on.
Yep.
Pretty cool. Pretty cool. No, we had to take the whole thing off the handle and replace the handle. I mean, then, put a new one on the handle. That's what we used to have to do. And then you got to cut the end of your handle off because it's fucked up. And then if it's too short and it's not wide enough for you to put the wedge in, you got to go and get a new handle too. So most of the time you just end up buying a whole new scythe.
Oh,
But honestly, we didn't have a problem with the metal things. We had a problem with the handles. The handles would break eventually. Because with the metal, we could take it into our shop and we had a grinder. My dad had a grinder and you have a sharp blade again. So that's all you need is a little table grinder.
Yeah, they give you a jig, and I had to get a hammer, a peening hammer to work to fix it. But they also give you a whetstone along with it. But yeah, it has this like little metal ring on it, and it has like these two bolts that you can tighten it up, loosen it up. Works.
Yeah, that's great. That's great. No, I haven't scythed in a long time, for sure. Long time. Kyle said that has never stopped me. Yeah, it's not legal where he is either, just so you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, for sure, it's not legal there.
Well, I'm not sure if I trust where I could get the illegal stuff. You never know what they're gonna lace it with or whatnot.
Oh, yeah. No, but you can buy it online, and it's like they got all the specs on it and everything. There's a couple different sites.
Assuming they even send it here, but
no, they well, pretty much. I think they send almost every state because it's legal for them to because of the farm bill, the 2000 something farm bill that they had. But it's all like Delta 8, Delta 9. which is almost the same as what I buy in the dispensary. And some of them are more potent. Like some stuff Kyle gets is like, I've never seen that high of a percentage on leaf, but he finds it online. So hell yeah. Hell yeah, it is, Mama Dad. Everything is illegal. Fuck yeah. No, I'm kidding. Yes, everything is illegal. No, not on the dark web, Mark. Just online. Just look up online weed sellers or something, cannabis sellers or whatever the hell they call it.
Well, if there's no cops around, anything's legal.
Well, that's the thing. That's how my brother taught me growing up. That's what's wrong with him. He told me that it's only illegal if you get caught. And then I thought about it when I got older and went, no, that's not true.
That was a
morally illegal for me. Yeah. I'm not doing that.
That was a quote from Gravity Falls.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. It was just one of the assholes talking crap, so who knows? Hello, Mark. Hello, Ollie. Oh, of the scythe action, Dev? I bet. Your back probably doesn't turn on your hips very well, I don't think. There you go. Yeah, Mage, come up to Oregon with us. Join our tiny home community.
Yeah, like I said, I'm not sure tiny homes would be for me.
You do know that they make them like almost the size of a like mobile home, right? And sometimes they are shorter and tall and have a loft, and then you have all that size. It's just a shorter thing that you're pulling. Yeah, you'd be surprised. And it's not necessarily about with the tiny homes that they make now and the new designs they have, which I've been eyeballing, so I have a lot of that in my head. It's not just about the size of the base. They do a lot upstairs, and you get an 8-foot wide trailer, and then you add a top onto it. And as long as you're under 13.6, you can go down any highway in the United States. So just stay lower than the trucks. And you've seen how tall those trucks are. Like a typical tractor trailer, that's like trailer is 13.6. So that's pretty fucking tall. You can put 1.5 stories in that space and live in it way comfortably. Yep. So
actually,
anyways,
the physical house I'm currently in may actually be classified given the square footage.
How big is it?
Well, the property is 840 square feet, and the house takes up maybe about a third of that.
840, a third of that, so a little under 300 square feet.
About that.
I think anything under... Shit, I can't remember now. I know anything under 400 square feet is definitely considered a tiny home. So 400 square feet would be half of that lot, not a third. A third would be a little less than 300, so like 280 or whatever. So, yeah, that's interesting. That is a small house. You could totally have that in a tiny home. Because, let me think for a second. It would probably be a touch smaller than that, but you could have 250 square foot in a tiny home, a living space. It's all about using your walls and everything to your advantage. If you have a few steps that lead up to a loft that you sleep in or something, and then underneath that, so you have stand-up room upstairs, you can put in like a half room. I know it's crazy, but people do it where you just sit down in it, and it's got like a couch and a TV and shit in it, but the ceilings are lower. And that way they can or they switch it, and you can do that as a loft and do that as a den upstairs, or a extra space if you have a guest or something. And then you have your bedroom and bathroom downstairs, and then, your kitchen in the middle, because it's easier to keep all the water lines close to each other. And then you have your living area. Some people have their living area, and then their beds on a simple pulley system, and you like a 5-year-old kid could pull it, right? Because the way the pulleys are set up. And you pull it up during the day and it locks your bed in place against the ceiling. And then when you go to bed at night, you lower it down and it lowers down to like where your coffee table is. And then you crawl into bed and go to sleep. So there's lots of ways there's Murphy beds that are in the wall and you bring it down. You just scoot all your furniture to one side when you go to bed and you lay it down. There's lots of options. I love talking tiny homes. I can literally talk about this for fucking like days. This is my shit.
Sounds like it.
See, exactly. No wasted space. Stairs become drawers. There you go, baby. Yeah, Deb learning. I taught her all kinds of shit. No, they aren't. And that's why mine's so cluttered, because I need to get rid of some shit. But a lot of my stuff is like supplies to, this is what most of my mess is. Supplies to finish out my bathroom. So they're kind of like laying around right now. Once the temperature drops and I get a 2-day weekend and it's nice and cool, I'm going to finish the rest of my water and stuff.
Yeah, I got a bunch of junk I gotta get rid of.
Yeah, but like some of it's in the back of my truck, some of it's like right here in my toilets. My new toilet is right here. I'm still using my old composting one because I'm not drilling a hole in the floor and leaving it open until I get back to it. It has to all be done at once, and all of it. So
the composting,
and I have to tie that into the shower drain, and then after that it's easy.
The waterless composting toilets I've seen, we usually use sawdust in them.
Yeah, you can use sawdust. You can use kitty litter. You can use Spanish moss is something that people will buy to use, and it's a certain kind of moss, and it absorbs and shit. There's also, you can use coconut. It's called coconut coir.
Yeah.
COIR. I don't know really how to say it. I think it's coir.
Yeah, it's coir.
And that's the best thing to use, because that composts in and you can use that into a garden.
Well, you can actually use the sawdust in a garden as well.
Exactly. But the coconut's better for your vegetables and everything too than just sawdust. Because sawdust doesn't really have any nutrients in it. So the coconut's supposed to be better.
The coconut coir doesn't actually have any nutrients in it either. It's just a carbon.
Then why would they say it's better? Maybe it breaks down faster than the sawdust. Maybe that's
possibly because there's possible chemicals in the sawdust from the milled wood.
Oh,
that might be reason.
You know what? You're right too. Yeah, that's probably why they recommend, because the coconut's all natural. Yeah, it's literally just the coconut hair, and they bag it and they sell it. So, yes, absolutely. And that's the thing is, if you have a garden and stuff, you can totally do that. You can also take your own waste, specifically solid waste, and put it in one of those methane bags. We were talking about this last night. Put it in one of those methane bags, and you can heat your like stove or your heater for the winter off of it. And I mean, it won't like gas your whole house, but you can cook with it and use it for heat.
Well, ain't that some shit?
So, yep, it's literally some shit. You're funny. Yes, do not touch them if you're allergic to coconuts. Like Deb. Do not use that. No coconut products around that lady.
Yeah, some people like to use coconut coir as an alternative to peat moss.
Touche, 401. Touche. No, Deb, it's a sealed bag. Okay. So what it is, it's a big bag that sits on the ground. There's a port on the side that you can put stuff in that's lower than the highest point on purpose. And then at the highest point, it goes down to a hose, and it forces the methane gas into that hose. And then you hook it up to like your propane outside cooktop. and you cook with it. So it's sealed up. Whenever you're not accessing it to, put your feces in it, it has a big like door on it. If that makes sense. Yeah, Deb, we were going to talk about this later anyways. So, yeah, look up methane bags. They're really interesting. Most people, because you use so much heat in the winter, that it's usually not enough to do that. But, sorry, I have something in my eye. Anyway, so most people just use it for cooking. Because it only like one person's feces is just enough for that one person to cook off of, basically. But that also can, I mean, if you're off grid, not only can you cook with that, but you can put a pot on there and heat up water to take a hot shower or something. You can do all kinds of things with that.
Okay. Check on something there.
My landlord came by with her dog, and I was like, I'm online.
Yeah.
She's like, okay, see you later. She's really nice. She's a sweetheart.
Okay.
Yeah, anyway, so there's ways to do that. I mean, you can collect cow manure. Remember, Deb, we're going to have a cow. So you can collect cow manure and do the same damn, like it's all methane. It all produces methane gas, and you can use that for your home.
Cows would definitely be a good source for that.
Oh, yeah. All you need is one. You only need one cow to do that, I mean, I don't know what kind of methane that pigs put off. I have no idea.
Don't know either.
But if you have a one cow and one pig, you're going to have plenty of shit to heat and everything with. Yeah. Well, thank you, Deb. Quit embarrassing me. Hey, Randy, what's up, buddy? Are broccoli and cauliflower on the menu often in tiny homes? They make you fart heaps. The enemy of tiny home living. No, that's the enemy of the guy with the tiny home that doesn't have a vent in his bathroom, which I am installing. It's going to be a little vent up in the corner, right above where the fucking cat box is and where my toilet's going to be. It's going to get all sucked out. If I'm not driving, that fucker's going to be on, because it's a little, like, they're only like little 12 watts. They're this big. So if I put 2 in there, it'll just suck out anything that's not appreciated. I'm cooking out tonight. That's about it. I might be high too. Oh man, not me. I don't partake in that devil's lettuce. I prefer the devil's oil. So anyways, wait a minute. What's your job? Oh, you mean the cooking? Yeah, Deb loves to cook. That's her love language. She wants to feed people. When she came and took care of me after the surgery, she made me food all day. She was sweet. Made me coffee and everything the way I like it. She spoiled the shit out of me. Then she left, and I was like, come back. It's asking her husband when I can oh, okay. Asking her husband when I can borrow her again. Kebabs, Mr. John. I need to know what you put on your kebabs, because everybody's kebabs are different, and it matters what you put on. So anybody that's cooking something tonight, put what you're cooking in the chat, and everybody can maybe somebody can find a recipe they don't have yet, or a food combination, because I love food. So I can't eat meat, so I want you guys to share meat ideas with each other in memory of my carnivorous that is now gone. My carnivorousness.
I'm just having a hot dog with a side of the yard long beans I grow.
Ooh, that's good. See, because you grow your. Oh, man, I can't wait to grow my own food again. Pot roast. Okay, Deb, what's in the pot roast? Randy's doing steaks. Nice, man. What are you putting on the side? Or are you just staking it? I mean, are you getting a veggie or are you just staking it?
I was thinking about it. I could do the last pork roast I have.
Oh, pork
Might save
roast
that.
day.
Might save that for tomorrow, though.
Yeah. God, I miss meat. So good. So hard for your system to deal with, but it tastes so good.
Yeah, I
So
believe.
she is putting in with the roast, carrots, celery, onion, potatoes. What kind of potatoes? Are they reds? I love red potatoes. Those are my favorites. I'm having pizza tonight. Domino's has half price Tuesdays. How can I not? Right? You don't want to cook. Psh. This is no labor. This is the laborless day, not the day of labor, right? I still cut up my own vegetables though.
Half Price Tuesdays isn't this Monday?
I'm sorry.
Half Price Tuesday isn't this Monday?
Oh, well, Mark Caesar is in Australia.
Ah, okay, that makes sense.
So no, it's Tuesday. I didn't know you didn't know that. Sorry, Mage.
I keep
like,
forgetting.
huh?
You mentioned it one other time. I keep forgetting though.
Yeah, no, it's okay. See, this is a woman who's literally after my heart. I love Deb. Hello, Al. How are you? What time of day is it where you are, Mark? Because I think you're 14 hours ahead of me, I believe. So it should be like, oh, you just got up. No, PM. Yeah. You should be morning there, right? Yeah, see? Haha, I was right. Yep. You're 14 hours ahead of me. Oh, what's Randy got here? Sides, corn on the cob, baked potatoes, summer squash and zucchini, then marshmallows on a stick. That's dessert, my friend. With a fatty. Al's doing some barbecuing.
Well, if you grow your own red potatoes, they're generally determinant. So basically, they grow all in one level.
Uh-huh.
So what you do is you put your potato seeds on that one level, fill it up with some more stuff, and then put more seeds on top of that because they all grow in one level. So you can have multiple levels that way.
Yes, I'm listening.
That's rather instead of your indeterminates, like the ones that you usually get for the baking potatoes and all that, which would grow up on its own.
Right. Yeah, I don't know. Deb and I haven't discussed what vegetables we're going to grow, but I think I'm just going to try to do a little bit of everything. I want to do my own herbs and everything. But for the herbs, because she's the big cooker, she doesn't know this yet. But what I want to do is I want to put windows up by the top of her, like up kind of high in her tiny home. And I'm going to put windows up, and then I'm going to let it so she can like grow the herbs up on the windowsills or all the way around.
Nice.
She can have all that natural light, but she can close the smaller windows if she wants privacy, and the plants will get light.
You make it long enough so you can like put a little tray underneath of them, and that way you just fill the tray up with water, and it'll water the plant that way.
Yeah, I could do that. I could put rocks in the bottom of the planters and just set them in.
No, not rocks.
What do you mean?
You just take the pot, you put it in a tray, and you fill the tray up with water. That's all you have to do. The rocks actually I actually mean to test this in a video, but
Okay.
I found on some stuff that's saying that putting the rocks in the bottom of a pot that will actually inhibit the drainage rather than increasing it.
Well, but if you have all that water in there, will it soak up too much and rot out the roots?
you want to only put a little bit. It's a small. If you had like a short tray,
Okay.
if it's just if they if
So
it's
you're
only
only
takes like
talking like
maybe an inch,
this.
yeah, an inch, half an inch of water kind of thing.
Okay, that's a half inch. So
Yeah.
yeah. Okay.
So it takes
Okay, that's
maybe
different.
2-3 days, and it'll dry out, and then once it dries out completely, you refill it.
Oh, okay. Well, you know when to water then.
Yeah.
Oh, see, I like that though, because sometimes we overwater plants and they don't need as much.
And you can also check.
So,
And you can also check at the top of the things. Make sure see if it's dry and everything. If the pot itself is dry too. But if you're putting like rocks in the bottom of the pot and stuff, that from my I've been reading, actually can inhibit the water draining out, so you can actually over water that way, because the change
well,
in the medium will cause the water to stay up in the more spongy material.
okay, so you don't want to do that. Okay,
Yeah, you
that
don't
makes
want to do
sense.
that. Like I said, I actually plan to I've been planning to test this for a while, but I I've
Like
got
Deb already
everything.
knows about it.
Yeah,
See what I mean?
I've got everything to I've got everything to test this out with, but I just haven't cleared the space to set it all up.
No, that would be great actually, because that way I could set it up so I could tell her like how much water to put in each tray, like a cup or 2 cups or whatever, to get that level. And then she can just pour it in up there and she doesn't have to mess with like watering each plant too.
Yeah.
So no,
What
that's an amazing idea.
what I used is actually these little cartons for cookies. You got like a 13 count cookie of 0.88 pound thing of cookies from the grocery store. I
Uh-huh.
cut the top off, so you have like 2 trays. You can fit basically 2 small pots in each one, like but the size of a solo cup. In fact, that's what I use as a solo cup. I grew
Okay.
I grew garlic that way.
Just a solo cup sitting in the middle of any container.
Yeah.
Nice.
Like I
How
said,
big a hole did you cut in the bottom?
just a few slits in the bottom.
Okay. Oh, so you basically took the idea of the potted plants, how they have the pots. I
Yep.
mean, the pots for the plants that they sell, the slit idea, and you did the same thing.
Yep.
Okay. Now I know what you're talking about. I want to make sure.
Though I am switching over to drilling a hole, maybe about a quarter inch wide in the very middle of it, just for just big enough to fit your finger through, basically, so you can actually push things out of it much more easily.
Yeah. Yeah, I thought about like setting up one of those but I don't know what the best thing is to grow like hydroponically. Don't anybody say weed. It might be though. But that's not the point. So what I want to do is set up a hydroponic set a thing with some whatever kind of thing I want to grow in it to try it out, and have fish on the other side so the water circulates from one to the other.
I wanted to have something like that myself.
I want to set that up, and I think I have ways that I can do it, and it'll be pretty cheap to set up where it doesn't kill my pocketbook.
Yeah, probably one of the easiest things for you to do hydroponically would be lettuce.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Do the herbs that way.
Yeah, lettuce tends to have a very shallow root system, so they do pretty well with hydroponics.
That's interesting, John. I might need to pick your ear later, sir, if you do not mind about that for our community. I want to like we're doing stuff. For instance, one of the things is there's only going to be certain kinds of shampoos and stuff allowed in the bathhouse because everything's going to help water the garden.
And on squash, if you as you're picking it, that'll actually encourage it to produce more squash. So if you have like a plant that has like stopped producing, there's a good chance if you look down in there might be I guess one old squash that managed to get by.
Right. Yeah. Aquaponics. So that's different than hydroponics then. Oh God. Deb, we got to do some reading. You know what that means? That means Deb has to do some reading because I'm ADD and I'll never do it. That's what that means.
Well, that's what you were talking about, basically, with the fish.
Yeah.
Aquaponics.
Oh, okay. That's called aquaponics when you use to feed. Okay.
It's a form of. It's basically a form of hydroponics, but
like really, the only thing I'm not sure of is what kind of fish won't kill the plants. What's the best fish for it? You know, which one poops the most and gives them the most nutrients? Like, is it maybe those plecos because they eat everything and then they shit a lot? I don't know. Is it?
I was thinking about using guppies myself.
Guppies, okay.
Because they breed easily and.
Hold on. These things don't like to stay in my ears, but I had to charge my other headphones. I forgot to charge them last night. After we got done, I watched somebody else. I was like freaking high as hell, and I went to sleep.
If you have something that wants a lot of nitrogen, you want to go with goldfish.
Okay.
They produce lots of nitrogen. That's actually one of the big problems with goldfish, and why they can kill off stuff in your tank if you don't clean the tank out regularly.
Interesting. Okay. Exactly. That's what I want to do, John. I saw it on one of those. I bet you John has seen these. The Earthship YouTube videos from years ago. They have it in there. That's where I got the idea. Mm-hmm. You can do all kinds of cool shit. Like if you want a brick and mortar house, put so many ways to warm it. Like they take tires and they put concrete down the center of the tires, and the tires become part of the house. And what the rubber does is it sucks the heat in, so it naturally heats your house. And then you can also, with holes in the walls, or the way they did it was they laid the bottles out as they were concreting the wall. You put glass bottles in the wall, and it's a natural light source. And it brings the light in because it's reflective. So you can have a whole, like, put some in a wall and it'll light up most of your room. And you don't need any electricity for either one of those. And it's all using shit that's laying around in a junkyard, which is the point. Old tires, old glass bottles, those are like everywhere. Everybody has those. You drive out in the country around where I live, and people have piles of fucking old used tires that they've had for God only knows how long. They're just going to sit there and pollute. You know?
That reminds me, I got to go garbage picking in my neighbor's yard waste.
Don't plant lettuce. Pray. Huh?
Why not?
I don't get it. Yeah, see, the thing is, Deb, if we experiment and we get everything worked out on a small scale, if we ever need to improve that, it'll be nothing. So small scale experiments to get it worked out, with the environment and whatever else we need to worry about. Yeah, and then once we have a plan in place, it'll just be, okay, we need to do this bigger now. We need more whatever, If you're growing fruit trees, grow on trellis. The trees do not expend energy trying to stand up. Your trees will produce 2 times plus fruit.
I've never heard of that before.
Shut the fuck up. Are you kidding me? Let them grow up a trellis. I find that fascinating. I could make a wall of trees. It could be like a fence line. Literally. Nobody could get through it. Might have to go on the other side to pick up half the fruit, though. That's awesome. Deb, write that down. Write that down, Deb, so we don't forget, because we're all high.
I'm gonna have to look into that one. I've not heard that, but heard that
I know,
before.
Right? It makes sense, though, doesn't it?
Yes and no. It might
I
naturally
think it makes sense.
the trees would I would think the trees would naturally be formed from the trunk anyway.
That's kind of like fuck you after the beyond the grave there, right? Like fuck the person that died. I'm gonna get you back right now. Fence line or defense line? You know what I'm saying, Mark. I'm gonna
So
survive one way or the other. I wouldn't want anybody to come through my fence. I'll live, bitch. I'm gonna fucking live. Figs. Yes, I fucking love them. They're delicious. They're amazing. Shit, I grew weed that I was charged. Well, now I know where your experience comes from, sir. Okay, so yeah, I want some hints off of you, my brother. You got to hook me up with some hints like that. I like that tree shit too. I'm gonna check that out.
I'll have to look into that myself.
What kind of John, using that method? What kind of trees have you grown? What kind of fruit trees have you grown? Because I want to know what did well with it. Your tree is on steroids. Hey, so with figs, do you have to dry them first, or they just come like that? I mean, do they naturally have that inside to it and everything? I don't know. Yes. Okay.
Oh, okay.
Sweet. Fuck yeah, send me some. I know you got that vacuum seal trick down pat. I gotta tell you, man. She wanted to bring food to cook for me, and because I was using the extra area in my landlord's house. It's like a den, closed in porch area. It's pretty cool though. So I was using that after my surgery because I couldn't crawl in and out of my bed, and Deb brought food with her. She vacuum sealed everything. And then I think the juicy stuff she might have vacuum sealed twice. I'm not sure. And then she froze it all and she put it all in her bag. She flew down here. And when she got here, I brought her an hour up the road from Albuquerque to where I live. And we took it out of the bag, like, I don't know, maybe like a couple hours after she got here because we were talking and she forgot about it. And she was like, oh my God, the food. And the shit was still frozen. So.
Okay. I think I see what's going on.
It was funny. I didn't see it coming. I thought all the food was going to be trash, but it was all still frozen.
Okay, I think I see what's going on with this trellising thing with the fruit tree.
He said, I did oriental pears, peaches, cherries, apricots, apples, etc. So pretty much all of the fruit that would be able to grow in your environment.
What it looks like what it's doing is it's having the branches grow out more separated, so it will produce more fruit that way. So you're getting.
Can you share that?
You're getting longer branches that way.
Okay. Can you share that screen if you don't mind?
Oh,
since we're all talking about it, I'd like to show it.
Yeah, I was just looking
at the yes.
Well, I was just looking up what that espalier thing that you mentioned.
Yeah. No, I'm curious to see it too. So, I mean, if you don't want to, you don't have to. But
I can show it. It's just fine.
Okay, cool.
Okay.
Yeah, Mark.
Show screen. Share. Okay. So you notice with like this one here, they have the trunk growing up with the trellis, and the trellis is basically supporting the branches, giving them space to each grow. Their own fruit. So these branches here are growing out are what's really being supported, and they can grow out longer and give you more room for growing fruit.
That's brilliant, though. That's absolutely brilliant.
See it here with this one too. You see the branches growing out really
Yeah.
wide from the trunk.
How the fuck? But so if you give it support, it'll just naturally grow that way. Is that what I'm hearing here, John?
That's what it looks like.
Okay.
There's one more, it's a little bit more decorative.
And it's funny, I've seen this stuff done decorative, but I didn't know there was a purpose behind it. I thought it just looked cool, so people were doing it. I had no idea.
You have one where it's all dyed back, so you can actually see the trellis.
That's pretty fucking cool.
Actually, that's probably dormant, not dyed back, but
Huh.
so that's.
Oh, I bet, John,
I
with
might,
those cherry blossoms popping and
well,
big
I
heart. Yeah.
well, it looks like I learned something today on gardening, so I'll have to look into maybe trying that
Yeah.
myself.
So, all right. So, John, I'm curious. Can you do that with, like, can you do a different form of that with like cucumber and stuff so it can grow, stay off the ground and things don't get rotten?
Yeah, you can do that with cucumber.
Because
I've
I
heard
was thinking more of like making the mound, planting it here, and then when it starts growing, put like mesh all the way around. So as they grow, no, they'd probably end up underneath the mesh, wouldn't they? Depending, well, if you went small enough, I guess.
Yeah, you can trellis cucumber.
Absolutely. Okay. I have apples, pears, brambleberries, strawberries, grapes, purple and green, and blueberries in my yard. That's a hell of a rental you found, Deb. They wanted a better rental while they're looking for property. So they found a nice place with a big ass backyard. You can bend them and tie them back, manicure to make most of these shapes. My own pear trees were circles. Yeah. Yeah, I have seen people do that, like shapes with the trees, but I've never known that the trellis thing was for anything but decoration. I didn't even know that was. I was wondering how they did it, because some of them you can't see the trellis anymore, So I was wondering how the fuck they did it, but damn, that's so cool. So, John, is it better to trellis them in both directions, like two directions, so they're like that with the tree in the center, or just two directions is plenty? What kind of melon? I will look for your post, sir. Hey, where did Jenny? Jenny never came in, did she? What the fuck?
Nope, I don't know where she went. I sent her the little code thing she wanted.
Yeah. So high, I didn't realize that like 40 minutes had gone by and she hadn't shown up yet. Okay. That's a good idea. Watermelon, 40 to 50 pound watermelon.
Damn, that's a big watermelon.
So are you just going to like cut off the tops and just put the grandkids in it to eat? Like you cut out the center and just let them go in there and feast for the rest? Because I think you could fit two small ones in that. Jesus. Would it be that the trellis supports the branches, or that the branches are more exposed to sunlight? That is the reason they grow more, produce more. Yeah, grow more produce.
Possibly a bit of both.
It's probably both. Yeah, I was gonna say it's probably both, to be honest. Because the typical fruit tree, you get a lot of fruit up top because it's all got sun, and then as it goes down the sides, and then there's nothing as much in the center. And there's a reason for that. It's blocking its own sun. So the trellis idea is brilliant.
And the trellis idea actually would work really good for younger trees as well, seeing as you usually have a period where the trees may be too small to support the fruit, and that you can actually cause the branches to bend over. Though you have to be careful with trying to grow fruit on something like that, seeing as you still want energy for the tree itself.
Right. Okay, hold on here, guys. Okay. This is self-sufficient education. That's what we're going to do here today. We're going to do self-sufficiency education. Hold on just a second. Okay, so put this over here so I can see what the fuck I'm doing. I love it when it fits perfectly in the screen. So this is the Scrog method. Screen of green is what it's called. They're also using a form of a trellis, but it's very, very small. Wait a minute. There we go. Look at that. Holy cannoli. Do you see what I see? I have, oh my God, dude. That is one plant, Mage.
Yeah.
All of that is one plant.
Nice.
That's like the amount of a 10-foot fucking or 12-foot plant right there. It has to be. No, not self-pleasure education, self-sufficiency. It's to survive. Sue Mommy, how you doing, sweetheart? Yeah, we're gonna grow fruit trees and everything, so this is gonna be very helpful.
Well, remember, if you're growing apple trees,
Yes.
you'll need two different apple trees.
Farmer John is a motherfucking farmer. When you smoke your weed, thank folks like me. Thank you, John. Truly. We have tower strawberries, so they need the trellis. Oh, okay. Yeah. I'd surely be incarcerated if I didn't have. Me too. Oh yeah, I'd be on death row. Like, there she is.
There you are.
Dun 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 dun. Hi, Jenny.
Hi.
We're talking about trellising methods for planting plants.
Oh, that's one of my favorite subjects.
Are you serious?
No.
That's what I thought. So, anyways, this is a pot plant that they trellised. It's called the Scrog. It's the Scrog methods. SCROG or CCROGG. Anyways. Yeah. SCROG grow. Yeah, so you do this when you first start with them.
Yeah.
And then they just grow out instead of up.
That's what you do.
Everything gets more light because
yeah,
you can do this with everything. That's the point. John was telling us about it. He said more yield, less area. I'm just going to leave this up here for a while, Tibby, and thank you. Weed, because murder is wrong.
Another advantage to this method, that's creating a nice cover over on top. So if you had something that likes shade, you can plant that underneath the plant.
Yeah, like your oregano, basil. It'll get mixed sun.
No, your psilocybin mushrooms.
Maybe. You don't know where we'll go yet. So here you go. Here's a picture of the starter mesh. That, my friends, is just basically, it's not chicken wire. What's the next size up? Not sheep, smaller. Not goat, smaller. Anyways, you can buy that in a damn hardware store.
Yeah.
You can buy that stuff in a hardware store for like $20 for a roll of it.
I wanted to say hardware wire, but that's too small.
Yeah,
John,
it's
I'm going to
quarter
use
inch.
that next time I'm dating a chick. More yield, less area. Okay. Part of me wants to learn. This is what Sumami says. Part of me wants to learn in case of the apocalypse, but most of me just wants to rely on the weed man. No, I hear you, but I want to grow the good shit, and I don't want to have to go buy it off somebody. So I'm gonna buy seeds once, hopefully. You gotta find heirloom seeds. You know what I'm saying?
I'm just now getting back into the chat. You know, so I'm still getting up to speed here.
Okay.
Mark Caesar. I have no idea why that happened. I don't know.
Heirloom or open pollinated will work if you're planning on saving the seeds. If you're not planning on saving the seeds, it doesn't really matter.
Somebody's got a little grow tent somewhere. Did you guys see that? I was totally in a grow tent. Oh my god!
Oh, you mean like when they pitch a tent in the middle of their living room or something?
No, it's not quite what I mean. Hold on. Jesus, look at that. Look at that.
I'm guessing you're picturing a tent from that.
Pretty much, yeah. No, but I was drooling a little bit. Mushrooms save lives. Yeah, ask Deb what medicine she's off of now because she microdoses mushrooms. Doesn't give her a buzz. She microdoses mushrooms all day and it helps her back every fucking day. And she's been able to like get up and move and do stuff. So
Oh, nice.
They really fucking help. So if you want to tell everybody about that in the chat, you go right ahead, Miss Thing. Crunchy, scraggly ass bunk. See, I respect that, Sumami. I respect somebody that knows that, hey, you've been alive twice as long as me. You may know something I do not. Thank you.
Yeah, but that twice as long bit is getting smaller and smaller on you now, you know.
Yeah. It's getting the older you get, the smaller it gets. That's right.
That's right.
How much would that plant be worth? I don't know. How much is your house worth, Mark? No, I'm kidding. I mean, it depends. Does it keep producing? It might be worth a lot of money if you can take all that off and it keeps going.
I see Mama Deb is in the chat. Hi, how you doing? Haven't seen you in a long time.
She's been around. We've been talking this whole time. She's they moved and all kinds of stuff, and this crazy thing happened and that crazy thing happened. So she's got a computer issue right now and she's trying to resolve that so she can get back to streaming. So
Jen, what have you been doing for Labor Day?
I broke through my writer's block and I've been writing.
Oh, nice. That's good.
I got about quarter of a chapter done.
Per day, John?
No, just in the last couple hours.
Oh no, I was asking. I'm sorry, I said John.
Oh,
I was asking. He said he was doing 2 grams of macro dosing to keep him off of medicine, and I was like, per day or per dose or what's? I don't know what macro dosing is with that. And Mama Deb said hi, and she said yes.
I have a confession. I wasn't just writing; I was smoking.
Did you say you were just smoking?
So I'm just a little stoned here.
I was just smoking online with everybody. So I mean, do you see how squinty my eyes are?
Yeah, see, they can taste the sound of the colors here.
Oh, the plant's worth $2,000. They don't use G anymore for that, John. They use the K. You got to switch to the K. They don't use our old G anymore. Sorry. It means other things. It means grams and stuff now. It doesn't mean, yeah.
What?
$2,000 for that plant. Oh, Jenny, John was saying it's $2,000 for that plant on the screen.
Yeah, I can see the chat.
Oh, okay. Sorry. Thought you were asking what I said. Oh, that's
Jeez,
pretty.
$2,000. That's a lot of C notes.
Yeah. Right.
It may well have, Mark, to
Damn.
be honest.
You know, technically, that one plant could actually count as a farm. If it's
Well,
$2,000.
Probably could.
The Minnesota
Oh,
law
yeah, right.
allows only 2 plants at a single grow point.
Damn.
Yeah, because
I'm jelly.
basically the definition of a farm is agricultural production, and of $1,000 during a given year or expected. So, if you have one plant that's producing $2,000 worth of production, there that's a farm.
That's what I should do: is grow some pot, sell it, and make some income that I don't report. That'd be great. Oh, you're in Humboldt County? Wow. Yeah, absolutely. The marijuana paradise on the earth.
Right. Okay. Get rid of that fucker. Yeah, so we were talking about trellising trees and tomatoes, and basically that's what he's talking about doing. But with trees, you do it, sideways up and down, and with all the smaller plants, you do it above, like the weed plants. So it holds it all up. Your fruit doesn't rot because it's not laying on the ground, and because more of the plant is exposed to the sun and water and everything else, you get more yield in way less area. So we were talking about, gardening. Hey, Le Ferron. How are you, sir?
Well, other than scything, which going back to what we did on Labor Day, I watched a movie, Puppet Master 3.
Did you?
Yep.
I'm not a big horror movie person. They just bore me.
I had to wait for my neighbor to finish cutting his lawn before I could go out, so I needed to wait a couple hours so everything would die down, because if I go out there after he cuts his lawn, I'm going to be breathing that in, and that's going to screw my allergies up something fierce. So
yeah, I can agree with that.
Even when I used to use a lawnmower myself, I'd wear a respirator mask.
Glad to hear it, buddy. Glad you're doing well. Yeah, no, I know people that when they go out and mow and stuff, they wear at least an N95.
Yeah. I had the one with the big canisters.
How are you? Purple rhymes with orange. How are you today?
Oh, perp to derps in there? I didn't see that.
That's another nice thing about the scythe is I don't have to deal with that. It doesn't kick up the dust like the lawnmower or weed eater does.
See, what's really cool about it, 401, is not only fruit and vegetables will not only supply you with food, but they also supply you with meat because it attracts deer. Shoot them in your backyard. Just get up at about 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning and wait. They'll come through. They come through right before sunrise, and they're going to eat all your shit. So, boom.
find stuff that they like the best, plant it in one little spot, so you have.
I thought
So they'll go over to that one spot, and then you have a nice little setup.
Well, didn't we? Oh no, was that on? Oh, where was it?
I sent you
on a show in the last day or so. We were talking about milorganite. We were talking about sewerage. It's a fertilizer, but people say that it repels deer, and if they circle an area with it, they won't go through. It would be an expensive way to do it because you're buying this 25, 50 pound bag of fertilizer.
The thing with any kind of scent based repellents is they usually only work for so long until the deer or something to figure out, okay, the smell actually isn't linked to anything, it's safe, I'm gonna go through anyway.
Twitter purple.
But usually with scent-based repellents, you can maybe get a week or two out of them.
Hello, Miss Stephanie.
Hello, Mr. Beck. How are you? You're looking either hot or hot. You're looking hot today.
Hey, Steph.
Hey.
I'm doing okay. It's two of you now. Don't embarrass me. It is hot here though. I literally was sitting here before the stream and I went, I gotta take my shirt off. I can't. I need the air on my skin. I need air all the
Beck
time.
was gonna be baked.
I am baked. What are you talking about?
Brilliant. I'm only here for a short bit.
Oh. Hold on. I'm getting yelled at from both sides. Hold on.
Well, I got Molly that just came in here looking for pets.
She sent me two different things on Messenger. No, really, send me a link. Okay, it's coming. It's there. Yeah, deer is really good. You just have to know how to prepare it. If you know how to prepare it, it's delicious. You got to do it right.
I'm not fond of venison. I've had it made many different ways, and it always still seems dry.
I have always wanted to have a venison roast. Like a big butt muscle or something like that, and see what that's like. I've had sausage up the yin yang. That's all. It's like that. That's all people do, is make sausage and
or stew.
Yeah. Give me a roast, baby.
I've had.
Well, you're in luck, Mama, Deb. We can all cut our hair where we live, and we can just keep all the hair. Or if you have a friend at a salon, you can say, "Hey, can you collect hair for me?" And they don't care. They have to throw it out anyways. They'll throw it in a separate bag for you.
You are not cutting my hair. It took 15 years to get it to start growing again. There's no fucking way I'm letting anyone cut it.
No, not you, Purple. Not you, Purple. Not you. I would never do that to you.
It is finally started growing again. The last year, it's gotten a little bit longer.
They sell those too. Just stop in Texas. They're like candy at the fucking gas station. There's places everywhere.
Yeah, I've had deer in like a sort of a steak form before. That was pretty good.
I would like something that would keep deer from running in front of my car. Those whistle things they sell don't work.
Well, I don't believe that they don't work. I believe that the deer get scared and they jump and do stupid shit. That's what I think. They don't
They
work.
freeze is what they do.
Deer get scared and
Hello.
they jump and do stupid shit.
Hi, everyone.
Stream on in the background.
Hey, Mama. I haven't seen you on in quite a while.
Mama Deb!
Stream on in the background.
It might be me. It's me. It's me. I'm trying, Beck. I'm trying. There we go. Is that better? Got it. Okay. I'm slow.
There it is.
Okay, sorry, I muted you late. There you
Okay. It's okay. It's fine. Can you hear me now? Okay.
Yeah.
I know I've missed you guys so much. I have missed you so much. Like I like Beck was saying, I freaking moved, which is a great thing because I'm on a 1-story house now, no stairs. But prior to that, I actually went on vacation, saw my dad to make sure he was doing okay. But I fell down the stairs and took me about, what do you think, Beck, about 12 weeks to recover from that? I was talking to you the whole time from my chiropractor. It was a long time, but I'm back.
About 11 or 12 weeks, yeah.
Yeah, I'm back. I'm just trying to fix my main computer so I can get back to streaming. Beck and I need to get back in business.
Yeah, I've been missing your mental health streams.
I've been missing doing them. It's giving me more mental health issues to not do them. So I really need to get my butt back in gear. But I appreciate you saying that, Purple. I take a lot of pride in doing something that's going to help the community. So
yeah,
I appreciate
y'all
saying
catch too many of them live, but I always watched them after midnight.
Oh, thank you, Purple. That makes me happy. Thank you.
Purple's got that weird sleep schedule, kind of like you do, Deb. Like the mostly insomnia. You sleep for a little bit, but you usually don't sleep like all night ever. Yeah, Purple does that same stuff. So she'll be up in the middle of the night sometimes and no one's on. So she goes and cruises through everybody's.
Yeah, I never sleep more than 2 hours at a time.
See?
Then I wind up having to get up and do something for an hour and try to go back to bed again.
That's me too, Purple. Me too. I'm surprised I didn't keep up. I think the only reason I didn't make it hard for Beck to sleep was because he was on really good drugs while I was there taking care of him. Because otherwise, I was up 3-4 times a night. So,
and I was smoking pot, a lot of it.
True.
I always lived in a crowded house, so I learned to be very quiet. It's part of what I mean that I was raised by the cats. They taught me how to walk around at night without turning lights on.
Yeah, I've always honestly my eyes work better at night because I have light blue eyes. So
well, you know the night lights that just have one Christmas tree bulb. That's enough for me to read by.
Yeah, I could read by that. I probably could. Yeah.
I never understood
with my glasses, but yeah,
why they would say if you try to read in the dark, you're gonna need glasses. What the fuck does that have to do with it?
Yeah, I never understood any connection there either. Although I have needed glasses, my eyes have gotten progressively worse as the years go by.
We all need glasses by the time we hit 40, 45.
I'm guessing the argument is that you're straining your eyes more, so it's going to put more wear and tear on your eyes, yada yada.
What's straining? They're doing their job. It's not a strain.
The muscles that focus would still be doing the same thing.
Yeah.
But I really think I probably needed glasses even before I started school. And I'm kind of thinking that's probably why I don't recognize faces at all, why I never developed that skill.
That makes sense, because if you never were able to dial in on the particulars of the face.
Yeah.
If I remember correctly, when I was doing some research on facial amnesia, there are people who just don't remember faces, is that you have to be able to distinguish very certain characteristics to be able to pull it out and know who the person is. So if you didn't, that would make sense because you never saw them correctly.
Yeah, I think while I was growing up, everybody's face was blurry, so I never figured out who was who.
That totally makes sense.
That's why I only identify people by their voice.
That's kind of crazy. It's kind of crazy that things like that you can, but it makes sense because the reason that deaf people don't talk, cannot enunciate the way that we hearing people can is because they never heard their own voices. They've never heard voices. So that totally makes sense.
My cousin is deaf and they went through a lot of work to help her learn to talk. That, especially when she was really young, about, putting her hand on their throat while they were talking so they could feel how their throat vibrated while they were saying the words.
That's actually a really great idea because it's it's amazing to me, like when you lose one sense, so many other senses become heightened. So anybody who's blind or deaf, you can truly make your remaining sentence so heightened by just adapting a little bit.
Well, yeah, you got a section of the brain that's sitting idle. It's going to find
Mhm.
something else to do.
I've heard of situations where people who've lost their sight actually start getting visual hallucinations.
Yes, because the brain is trying to make the reconnection. Because if it's not, unless it's damaged, the human brain will try to make a reconnection some way, unless it's the path's completely damaged. With being blind, I don't know the intricacies, or being deaf, the intricacies of the connections in the brain, but it makes sense to me that you could absolutely 100% do the neurons could rebuild themselves and try to find the path of least resistance.
You know what would be a really interesting experiment? You might even be able to set it up so that it's ethical. If you took a group of people who, I should preface, I learned recently that people are divided into two groups. Some people can visualize a thought, that they can look at something and looking at the thing tells me something, like I'm looking at a lathe and I see, oh, the lathe is running, and oh, there's a square piece of thing in the jaw, and I can visualize all those things in my head. Okay. And there's other people who just can't.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
So
Yeah,
I wonder what in a newly blind situation, a person who can't visualize would do versus a person who can visualize.
Yeah,
Oh,
I can't.
wow.
I don't get pictures in my mind. You know, when I'm thinking of things, it's more like running text. I don't get images.
And see, I'm the exact opposite, Purple. I'm a visual learner. So if you tell me how to do it, that's not going to do me any good. If you tell me and show me, or just show me, I'll understand what you're talking about. I just don't get the tell thing at all.
Yep, I'm same way, Deb.
I'm apparently very weird, seeing as I can actually read in my dreams.
Yeah, that's a very rare thing.
That's interesting.
Really? I've read in my dream before. One dream. I had a dream. I asked my mother, who had just passed away. Well, not just passed away. When we found out about my brother, and he found us 9 years after she died. So I was thinking about her, thinking, man, I wish I could just ask her who his father is, because he doesn't know, you know. And that was a whole messy thing. Navy officer took advantage of an 18-year-old girl, basically. Anyway, so yeah. So she was forced to give him up for adoption. So he found all of us, but we didn't know who the dad was. So I had a dream that mom was walking through the big major city we lived about 45 minutes away from. And she's walking up this one street, and it's the same street they always have the Italian Heritage Festival on. And we used to go to it every year. It was a fucking blast. Just Italian food everywhere, and lots of beer and lots of wine. Just alcohol and Italian food. So it was a lot of fun. So it was on that street, and I was trying to catch up to her. And I was like, Mom. And she was walking really fast. And finally I caught her, and my brothers came out of the alley at the same time. And they were like, Mom, we were trying to catch up with you. And I said, what's his name? What's Bruce's dad's name? And then she went like this and pointed down at the paper, like, look at the paper. Now, mind you, before she died, she couldn't talk for a while. So somewhere in my head, I think, even though she talked right before she died, the last 3 days before she died, she was talking again. It's somewhere in my head, she still wasn't talking. So she would do this, like, look, you know. So she did the look thing, and I looked at the paper, and she wrote Michael, and something woke me up. But I read it on the paper.
No, that's, you know how I am, Beck. That's a message. That's a message. Either
I know, and he dug through everything that he knows, and there's no Michael anywhere.
There's either you knew it when you're little, or it's a suppressed memory or something, but that's a fucking message. No.
Oh my God, I think of this now that he's dead. My mom had an uncle named Michael.
Oh, that's
There you go.
disturbing. But yes, you.
I bet
Oh.
you he knew something. I
Yeah.
bet you he knew something.
It's entirely true. Entirely
'Cause
possible.
he's the
I'm
only
sorry.
Michael I can think of in the entire family. He's the only Michael.
Interesting.
Because most of them are like Joseph and, you know, those typical Italian names.
The Bible
Interesting.
names, the 4 Bible names. Isn't there four male Bible names that it's, you know, like Bruce and Steve aren't them, but, you know, like Mark.
Yeah.
No, she said
There
typical
is a-
Italian
there's a-
names,
I-
like
I
Mario
don't-
and Luigi.
I
don't
apologize
think
for
there's a-
entertaining myself so much.
I don't think there's a Bruce in the Bible, but there is a Stephen in the Bible. So
Oh, there is?
is that, you know? Yeah. Yeah.
I was
Saint
surprised when I
Stephen.
heard that there's a Thomas in the
Saint
Bible.
Stephen with a rose in and out of the garden. of
Spaghetti, tomato
There's
sauce,
actually a
pasta
whole
pizza, I
gospel of
want.
Thomas, but they decided to leave that one out of the Bible.
Interesting.
Well, I know that's not in the Bible. Gomer.
You're right. I believe you're correct. Gomer is not in the Bible anywhere.
If I could learn how to do
Gomer
that,
is. think
if
he
I could learn
is.
how to do that horror, I totally would. Because there's dreams that I woke up in the middle of because they were freaky or whatever, and I really wish I would have finished them.
You know what, Beck? I'm gonna have to give you the title or send the book to you because my Rusty absolutely is into the dream state, being able to go places, do things in your dreams. It freaks me out, but he's very much into it and he swears by it. So it might be something. I might have a book around here that I can send to you.
Lucid dreaming.
Yeah, thank you.
Now, I wonder if I was able to do that when I have the night terrors, could I throw the demon?
You know, I think honestly, it's all about taking your power back, Purple. So I would say yes.
You know, I have had lucid dreams before where I've told the characters in the dreams, yeah, this is a dream, and they'll actually argue with me and say it's not a dream.
Ah,
I had a dream once that I was sitting on the bed arguing with myself about whether or not I could tell if I was awake.
oh shit. That's
Yeah.
I don't know what that
Wait a
means.
minute. Wait a minute. Let me finish.
Please go ahead. Sorry.
And I woke up from that and I was still kind of wondering about it. And this demon jumped out of the wall. It scared the shit out of me and then turned back into me and said, "Told you so."
Fuck. That's all I have to say for that is fuck. That is crazy. That would scare the shit out of me, and I can see it happening. Oh.
They say that's because you haven't transitioned fully out of a sleeping state. Okay.
Yeah.
So you just
well,
go right
that's
into another dream.
I have that problem too. That when I start to wake up, I kind of linger for a while sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
They
I
also
get that.
say that when you when the dreams that you remember the most are the ones that happen just before you wake up. And
I've heard that.
Every other one, was 90. Typically every 90 minutes you go into a REM state and your mind does whatever the fuck
Yep.
it's going to do. But they're so far away from when you woke up, you don't necessarily remember them at all.
Do you guys
I don't
have
get
problems?
enough Delta sleep.
What stuff?
I don't get enough Delta sleep. I don't get enough deep sleep. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have the
That's
same
my-
thing. I
that's
sleep
my
in such
ish.
short cycles that I don't really dream very
Yeah.
often.
That's
Do
why
you
I
guys
smoke so much
suffer
at night.
from
I got a jet. Thanks for having me on. I'm here. I'm doing a stream at
I
the
know.
top of the hour with
Okay.
Carly Chardonnay Webb about another trans athlete and a writer for Outsports. So it ought to be interesting.
Cool.
It's not something
Yeah, I
you
was gonna
see every
say-
day of the week.
Yeah, for sure. So Steph's doing a stream at the top of the hour, and so is Ember.
So,
So if some of you people want to, What, Steph?
I said so is Ember.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So if you guys, want to jet and go see them, that's fine. I'm not trying to like stay on here for hours and hours. If people want to go, that's fine too. You won't hurt my feelings. They both have really good topics to discuss, and of course, Steph's topic is, kind of close to my heart for obvious reasons. So, yeah, absolutely. I want you guys to go show her some support.
I gotta go hang out in the green room to see when Carly shows up. She should be showing up pretty soon.
No, absolutely, Steph. We'll see you soon. Thank you.
See you guys.
Bye-bye.
Thanks.
Bye,
Thanks.
Steph.
Bye.
It was good seeing you.
Oh, fine. Don't say hi or goodbye. Jeez.
Very, very hospitable of you, Ember. Thank you for that.
And I've been seeing that a lot in our community now, and it's really great that people are doing that they're, making such an attempt not to stream at the same time. But it is virtually impossible to, not at this point. There's so many people.
Yeah. Yeah, but I guess what Ember was saying is that, you can watch his later because he's doing, he usually does his own commentary and stuff on his, and he's got a set thing he's doing where Steph's going to be like interviewing with somebody and you can, like ask them questions and stuff, which is very important. Yeah. So, and the topic, transports, of course, is an important
I'll
topic.
hang here. I can watch both of those later.
Okay.
So, Purple, I have a question for you.
I've got a lot of answers. Let's see if any of them are related.
Do you experience sleep paralysis?
A couple times a year.
Yeah, I freaking have it all the time. It scares the shit out of me every time it happens.
Even when you know what it is, it's still terrifying.
What's so scary about it?
Well, you're awake, but you can't move and you can't breathe. It feels like something's compressing your chest.
You can't. Yeah, that's absolutely it. I'll be awake in my mind, but I can't freaking move, and I feel like I can't breathe. So, I literally have learned to talk myself down. Okay, Deb, it takes forever.
Yep.
It's not an easy process, but I'm like, just move your pinky, move your pinky.
Yep.
So I'm getting my pinky to move, and then okay, you can do this. This is just, move faster, move one jolt, whatever it is. It feels like it takes me 6 lifetimes to actually get my body to get in sync with my mind. Yeah. It's crazy.
I've had it happen a couple of times to me. The first time, I was laying in bed and I actually saw these 2 people. I guess I couldn't really make out the faces or anything, but they were telling me to get up and join them. Yeah. The second time, I was out in the living room on the couch, and I opened my eyes and I see what kind of like the smoke person, kind of like I think it was like Krause from Hellboy 2. He was walking across the living room.
Yeah, see, it's just so, it's with me, it absolutely is when I'm dealing with an issue, if I'm extra stressed or my therapy has made a breakthrough in one of my past issues, I have much more incidents of them, and it scares the crap out of me.
The part that always bothered me most was that I can't make a sound.
Yes.
So I can't even alert the person sleeping next to me that there's something going on.
Yes.
But you know it's going to end.
Yeah.
I don't know that I'm there yet because I guess I do end them, but it still terrifies the crap out of me because it's just I feel like I guess that might be a fear of mine. I feel like I'm trapped in my body. And nobody can hear me speaking, so it's very scary for me. Very scary.
And it's interesting. I don't experience that. I got some other weirdness things, but I don't experience that, and I've always wondered more of what it's like.
Well, I understand, why people who believe in such things can see it as a demonic visitation.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. But I think it's interesting when we talk about the sleep things because I also have such vivid dreams that I've woken up and asked my husband, okay, are we going to do this today? And he's like, what are you talking about? It was a complete dream on my part, but I was sure we were going to go do that thing today. Yeah, and he's like, we have not talked about that.
There
That
have
also-
been some days where when I wake up, I have to look at the clock and on the phone, because it also says the day of the week. Because I have no idea what time it is, or I
Yeah.
just got such a weird sleeping schedule. I'm getting enough sleep, but it's just at such varying hours every day.
That's what I
Yeah,
used to do, Jenny. I'd wake up like say dark 30 in the morning, not sleep enough, and then go back to sleep like 11 a.m. or something like that when I wasn't working. And then I'd wake up and it would be like dusk, but it would feel weird to me because it would feel like sunrise, but it's not dusk either. And it just felt like ethereal because I was sleeping on some weird ass schedule. Yeah, no, I know exactly what you mean.
Yeah, Deb,
have you-
what
I'm
you
so
were
glad to
saying-
be back up at like 6 something every morning again, and sleep by 11 is so much better.
When we're at the equinox, and we're the what do you call it, 12 and 12 point. Let's see, now I forgot what I was going to say about that. Oh, I've had lots of problems where I wake up, I had been sleeping and I wake up and I see the light in the window, and I genuinely have no idea if it's AM or PM till I look at something. It's just it's the weirdest thing.
Have you ever heard of an encephalitis lethargica?
Yeah, that's swelling in the brain that causes you to be so lethargic that you lose track of days and times, right? Because you lose.
Yeah, sleeping sickness. It can actually cause a statue-like a condition, speechless and motionless. The movie Awakenings was based off of the phenomena.
Yeah, Deb, what you were saying though about
that's right. I forgot.
about
Well,
thinking you had made plans for that.
Yeah.
Okay, that goes with the short sleep cycles that, I get confused. Sometimes I can't sort out what were dreams and what were memories of the last couple of days. So until I talk to someone else who was involved, I can't verify whether or not that really happened.
No, yeah, that happens to me a lot too, and it's scary. But I am such a terrible sleeper. I think 32 and a half years ago, I gave birth to my first child, and that was where my good sleep ended. I've never been a good sleeper since. I haven't, because I was put in situations where I needed to be awake, like immediately, and because my profession doesn't help. I was a paramedic for years and years and years, so that requires you wake up and be with it on. And now that I'm retired, it's not happening. I wake up, I'm like, what? I don't have no idea what's going on.
I've always been like this. It just wasn't until I was about 30 that I realized some people actually sleep through the whole night.
Wow. I miss it. I miss it a lot because I literally don't sleep more than maybe 3 to 4 hours at a time. And then I'm awake for a couple hours and then I can go back to sleep. But I have to be on medication. Otherwise, I would never sleep and I'd probably drop dead from exhaustion.
Yeah, I can't get them to give me anything that works. Well, we've tried a bunch of stuff, but most of it doesn't work. Some of it just had side effects I can't deal with.
Yeah.
I don't want to cause a bad vibe or anything, but since I started smoking this pot, and we're not talking a lot of pot here. I mean, I'm taking off maybe an area that would, if you put it on the paper and flattened it out, it'd be like maybe a 1/4 inch square. That's all I smoke now because I'm old enough where it just knocks me out. I go to sleep. Anyways, I've only had access since August 1st and didn't actually get anything till after the 15th. So it's only been a couple of weeks where I've had, a little smoke, like 3 or 4 days in the week, not all of them. And my sleep pattern has completely changed. The depth of my sleeping. I'm getting 4, 5, 6 hours sometimes.
Wow, that's great. I'm so glad to hear that. I'm so glad to hear that.
I have been on a 3 hours sleep ability yet a day for the last 14, 23. That's so carry the 7 and the 12 and then maybe like 27 years.
Wow.
Jesus. I remember you telling me you only slept 3 hours a night. I remembered that because I remember numbers, so I remembered that. For some
Well,
reason.
I can't smoke in the building, but since I've got Since this week I've got a bit of money, I'm actually going to try to get some edibles and try that.
See, I can't do edibles, Purple, because they freak me the F out. I like go over the deep end. I take too much apparently. So my father-in-law lives with me, and he's a child of the 60s. Like, seriously was at Haight-Ashbury listening to fucking music, you know? And so he rolls me some of the best shit ever. I must go through, honestly, I'll be perfectly honest. It must be a joint today, maybe a joint and a half. So I keep my pain under control and I can actually relax and sleep with my trazodone. So it takes both of those to do that. So
And
Yeah.
and how much are you microdosing with mushrooms?
just a wee.
Ooh,
Um,
mushrooms.
what I do with my microdosing is I take right now I'm up to three little bits, and I don't know how to describe it other than bits. But I take 3 of those, and that actually starts to make the feeling different in my depression, my anxiety, and I can hear a loud noise, but I'll react, but not be terrified, you know. And my husband can get angry at me without me flashing back to the abusive marriage I was in when I was very young. And so it's like a much healthier place for me, but it's like 3 or 4 little bits. And then I think I take them every 4 hours. I take the 4 bits. So it makes a difference.
Okay. I can dig that.
Yeah, Carrie Ann, trazodone absolutely does give me a dry mouth and a little bit of a cough, but the sleep I can get with it is well worth it for me.
Yeah, and Carrie, as far as the idea of passing out from exhaustion, for me, I've been known to go 3 days without sleep before I finally crash.
Yep, I made it 2 and a
And-
half.
Yeah, well, that's not good because somewhere
No.
around 60 hours it starts hallucinating.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you'll get there. One
Oh,
way or the other.
absolutely. Because I'm, I don't know about everybody else, but I'm a big believer in finding whatever works for you. Like trazodone works for me, but I have to take 3 pills, so it's 75 milligrams is what I have to take, so it'll
Well,
start to calm me down. So that's a lot. It doesn't work for everybody else, so whatever works for you is what I say take.
I've got a story I wrote years
Holy
ago
shit.
when I was on my 3rd day without sleep. And I'm afraid to
Wow.
finish it because the characters terrify me.
Oh Jesus! So
I don't want to find out where that was going.
No, not at all.
Yeah, I've been dreaming wakes with that kind of dream straddling it. It's scary.
It is.
Yeah, I have a dream state that I don't get very often. I can't even tell you what interval I've had it because it's that often. It might be I might get it 1 month and then not a year for a year and then maybe 6 months later, and it's just weird. Anyways, where I call them my hyper realism dreams, where I'm in the dream state, and people like my passed on mother from 1987 comes and visits me, and
I get that.
and
I've
it
never
is
had
just
that
so
happen.
absolutely real that we are actually sitting there having conversations, and I remember the conversations we've had.
Mhm.
It's really weird. It feels like it goes on for an hour, but
Yeah.
who knows what the mind does. And it's like she's really, really there, and it's just this incredibly I don't know, it fixes my head.
Yeah.
I'm a crazy
Yeah.
person. I have parent issues, and
Yeah, it helps
it's
you
just one
resolve
of the
some
best
of the
things I
old
could ever
memories.
experience.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay,
I've
hold
gotten
on.
that.
Everybody pause for just a second. Who here has parent issues? If you can't
well,
raise your
everybody.
hand, just say yes.
I
Just
think
say
we
yes.
all fucking do.
I suppose so. I mean,
Does an abusive alcoholic father count?
Nope,
Yes.
sorry.
does having
My
to,
point is, Jenny, is we feel you. We know. We
Exactly.
know.
does
You
having to, does having to pull your mother out of a diabetic reaction in at 3 years old count?
Yes, that
Yeah, I
would give
remember
you
you telling me that
effing
does count.
issues. Yes.
Yeah, that's some PTSD
That would give
shit
you
there.
lifelong issues.
my daughter has issues from that. She had to give me an epi shot for a bad allergic reaction. And I never told her that she damn near paralyzed my arm for like 3 days because she came back from the North 40 with that EpiPen, you know? But she's like, it was so scary because the person that I thought was like my hero and ruled the world, she was sick. So it was really hard, you know?
Yeah.
But hey, Jen, you know what? I have a theory on this whole that people come back in our dreams. For me, for a long time, it was my brother who passed away. God, probably about 24 years ago now. It was my brother. He would come back. But nowadays, it's been my best friend who's been gone for 4 or 5 years now. And she comes back, and it's amazing that for me, I see like things. We're having a conversation. We're sitting down to dinner, but I see like ropes behind us. And every so often, the two of us will undo a rope and we'll let it go after our conversation. So I really feel like she's trying to guide me in letting go of some of the shit that happened in my life and being able to move on as a healthy person. So that's just my thought.
The realistic ones I've had don't involve anybody I've ever known.
Really?
I used to believe that there were actually, memories of past lives.
It could be.
I had a rather extensive thing that was kind of an ongoing dream over about 5 or 6 years, that it kept adding pieces onto it, that I was a British sailor in World War II.
Interesting.
The one
people in my dreams, if I don't know who the person is, they don't have a face. They have this look, like you'd see in an avant-garde movie with a silk mask over your entire head, kind of thing. And it's just weird.
Yeah, and anything I have that are like memories from my childhood, all the faces are blurry. I can't tell who's who. I just know it was, three of my siblings were involved. I can't tell you which ones.
The dream.
That's actually pretty common for there to be no faces on people, especially people you don't know.
Even yourself.
Yeah, and it's true, but you just know who that person is. Like, oh, that's my brother, the asshole, or that's my sister, or whatever.
Yeah, with me, the one I usually have a common realistic dream of someone who died was my girlfriend from high school who died of cancer. We'd be in class and I'd be sitting like, you're dead. And it's like, yeah, I know. Like it was totally normal for her to be sitting in class, doing regular day, but she's dead. like, yeah, I know.
Wow.
Well, because you can get a note for missing class for being sick, but not for being dead.
Yeah.
Oh,
I've also had I've also had dreams of my grandparents as well. There was one I was sitting in the living room. My grandparents had a fireplace, so we were just sitting in the living room with one of my uncles, and my grandfather just walked into the room. He started up the fire and like, thanks, Grandpa.
You're like, but Grandpa, you're dead. What are you doing?
Yeah.
I had this very realistic dream, and me and my family were at a restaurant, and it was kind of like one of those old diner kind of places, right? And they had the double glass doors, and there's just glass everywhere, and it's all open, right? And Susan was there, and she said something about having to get something out of the car, and I was like, "Oh, I'll help you, Sue. I got you. I'll get it for you," And she goes, "No, Beck, it's fine." And I was like, "No, I'll get it for you. I know you don't feel good." She was like, "No, I'm fine now." And by this time we're out the last door, and she does a cartwheel, one, and then the second one onto a car, and then pops up under her feet and says, "See, I'm not in pain anymore." And I woke up bawling.
Of
course. Woke up bawling.
Yeah. I've had some.
Bye, Mark.
Bye, Marky.
I've had
Mark.
This weird situation where I think it was a visual hallucination. At the time my mom was in the hospital, I'm pretty sure it was probably brought on by stress. I was doing the driving. I had to do some grocery shopping, and I left one of the bags in the car. I walked out to get the bag, and there was this girl in a black dress. I figured she's like doing some kind of door-to-door salesman kind of thing. She looked totally real. I opened my mouth to ask her what she wanted, and she looked at me like she was shocked that I even saw her, and then she vanished.
Oh, I hate that when somebody you're dreaming with suddenly has to end their portion of the dream.
No, this wasn't a dream. This was I
Oh,
was fully
Like
awake.
you were awake? Oh, interesting.
I left a bag in the car. I went out to get it, and there was this person standing there, for far as I know, and they looked at me shocked, like they were surprised I saw them there, and they vanished. Like,
That's interesting.
I just kind of stood there for a second, like, okay.
that's
Yeah.
kind of like an augmented reality, except it was
Take care, Mark.
actually saw it instead of just being in goggles.
So,
Yeah, but-
Carrie, I'm sorry. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I'm like I said, looking back on it, I think it probably was some kind of visual hallucination brought on by stress.
No, it could be absolutely, because the human body is amazing. That's the thing that I am so fascinated why it made me go into medicine, is that the things that the human body does to protect itself or to release things is amazing to me. It's absolutely amazing.
It was like, like I said, it was my mom was in the hospital at the time, so.
Yeah. Hey, Carrie Ann, I wanted to address something you said earlier, if that's okay, Beck.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, absolutely. Having to live with that kind of stress of not knowing whether the people who are supposed to protect you are going to be there the next day to protect you, that is enough to bring on enough trauma to make you feel like you really need to almost start over, because it's so hard, because you never know. You don't even know the feeling of being protected like you were supposed to be. It's something I suffer with as well. So yeah, no, that absolutely counts as a fucked up childhood. Absolutely. And could be a reason that you have some of the sleep issues that you do.
Yeah, it's insecurity. That's like, Deb, I told you this, and I don't know who else knows, but I'll say it again. Ever since I moved into my tiny home and I live in a place that I own,
Mm-hmm.
I sleep like a fucking baby. Like I don't remember dreams anymore because I smoke so much pot. I'm fine with that. I don't care. I don't want to know them.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't have to worry about that. But I sleep really hard. I lock that fucking door. I make sure my truck's locked. I make sure that door's locked. I sleep like a baby.
Hey, Carrie,
and until then, my typical night was 5 hours.
Carrie, that's kind of funny because I've been a child since adulthood.
Even though I own my house now, I still have the feeling like there may be a point where I have to suddenly pack up and leave at any given moment, and that's something I have a really hard time shaking.
Go ahead, Purple.
No, Mage, I identify with that. I've always felt that I was like in transit or just in storage waiting for something.
Yeah, exactly.
This apartment now is the first place I've actually felt that there's a chance I could be stable and could stay here for 5 years.
I mean, I know logically this where I'm at right now is pretty stable, but I still feel like it's not.
No, and that's exactly how I felt all the time too. And I never realized how much that impacted me because I went from, living at home with my mother. She died. I was homeless. And I felt homeless ever since. I've never found home.
What is DID?
And then when I built my house, it changed everything. I want to say really quick about this comment before we move on. When I read that, I just had pressure in my chest, felt like the air was being sucked. Like literally, you just described what my anxiety used to be. You almost gave me an anxiety attack. I had to take a deep breath, look away from it for a second. Like that is literally, yes, yeah.
So, horror history. What is DID?
Oh, DID is fascinating me. How intense it can be. How alters can have alters. The inner world being as huge. What DID? Yes, please explain.
What, dissociation identity disorder?
Identity disorder. Oh,
my
yeah.
Is that what it is?
My mom had that.
Yeah.
She had seven personalities.
Yeah.
Multiple personalities, basically. Yeah.
My late fiance had that. and one of the weird things was that one of her personalities was the same as my birth name, but was also a handyman.
Yeah, get this.
So it kind of worked out that I kind of replaced that one after I moved in with her.
I bet, huh?
Get this. One of my mom's personalities was a guy named Paul, and my mom, like I said, my mom had diabetes. Paul did not, and we actually have records. We had actually records of it where we did not take a her insulin in for the entire day, and they it was checked on. It was on record when it was in the Paul personality, and the blood sugar remained stable.
That's just total and complete proof that the brain is so powerful. We only use a certain percentage of it, because when she was in the other personality, that is absolutely 100%. That is the person's who's living the body. So the ability of the brain of Paul, I think you called him, to take over and regulate things it's amazing.
Yeah, my late fiance would get up in the morning and not know where the car was because she wasn't the one who drove home.
I've heard of that.
Yeah, it's strange as how that would even work, considering the whole reason why she had the diabetes in the first place is because her pancreas was still essentially the size of a child's.
That's why then. Oh gosh, that's interesting. That's interesting.
It just never developed.
Yeah. Hey, Aaron, I gotta say, because this is my gig, and I'm sorry, I'm kind of hijacking your show here, Beck.
No, go ahead.
It's my gig is that I am I'm a mental health advocate. I would really like to talk to you, and I actually am going to highly suggest that you get a therapist of some kind, any form you want, even a best friend to talk to.
I believe that he already has all that going.
Okay, because that's absolutely a real thing. The dreams that you are actually the delusions of reality means that there's, in my research, I found that there's something that your body has suppressed or your mind has suppressed, and now that you're in a position where you can handle that type of memory, it's starting to come out. But that's just my opinion. I would, if you need anybody to talk to, please look me up or hit Beck up, and he will tell you how to get a hold of me. Because I would,
Yeah, a lot of dreaming is your subconscious sorting out things that you haven't had time to really think through.
Agreed.
Jeez, what the hell is my subconscious trying to sort out?
That's what I think every day when I wake up. What the fuck just happened?
It makes you wonder. Doesn't it make you wonder though with with DID? Like, doesn't it make you wonder about the past lives thing?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well,
I mean, I don't even believe in that stuff, but stuff like that makes me go,
For me now, since I'm back in therapy and I am getting little pieces of my childhood back, and most of it's 40 years of, not even knowing what gender dysphoria was, let alone knowing I had it.
Yeah, here you go.
So
no, Aaron's smart. Aaron's a smart guy. He's just
I got you, Aaron. Cool.
He's got a body that hates him.
I'm kind of the same way. I have complex PTSD as well, and I have the support system and the therapist and everything.
He's got chronic fatigue too.
Oh, if you ever need somebody to talk to, man, please, I will be happy to help you there, because I understand what you're going through.
I have not seen a chat this active for almost any topic. We cumulatively, groups that we've been in or panels we've been on. It's amazing how everybody is just into this and sharing, and in some cases very vulnerably. It's neat. You guys are cool.
Yeah, no, they are a great group, and this is exactly why, if people want to talk about mental health, I let them, because sometimes you just find the right group, you're comfortable, you want to talk about it, and you can learn shit and maybe get some stuff off your chest that you don't want to say to people in your life,
Absolutely.
Yeah, I have noticed that our group has a very high percentage of people who have sleep disorders.
Yeah.
Well, I've always had the theory that the reason these little groups of people who are on YouTube or Twitter all the time and get to know each other is because we all have time during the day, it seems, and I believe that the vast majority of us have some issue going on that that is very disruptive for some people, and whether it's me, I'm old and in pain, but it's mostly my depression and stuff that keeps me in my bedroom all by myself.
Yeah.
But that we all have various things that we're dealing with, and so we have the time to be here, and sharing, we know, is good for us because we do it with the doctor or something.
And the mutual support is definitely helping. I've said
yeah.
many times that I would not be transitioning now. I had given up on it, and I wouldn't be doing it now without this community. And specifically Lavender Lady and Jenny had a lot to do with it.
Yep.
Yeah, I've got the time
They're
because
awesome at supporting.
I'm actually on disability for anxiety and depression.
Oh, you too, Mange? Because I'm looking to. My hearing's supposed to come up in October. God knows if it's actually going to happen this time, but it's for physical and mental stuff. And I actually got a letter from my attorney that said, "Wow, there's a lot going on with you physically. Are you sure you don't just want to pursue physical?" I'm like, "No, dude. My anxiety and depression and my PTSD makes it so hard for me to interact with people." And so it's hard, but you know what? You got to fight the good fight. You got to keep fighting, because if you need it, you need it. That's just
it's going to be a fight. It's never easy.
Oh, yeah.
Everyone gets turned down the first time. They just see who's going to bother to appeal it.
Yep.
Yep. Mine's getting rechecked into now. Yeah. See, my problem is that I can't work around people. I can't. I either find somebody that's an asshole to me or somebody that drives me up the fucking wall. So I either get fired or I quit.
Actually, I don't think they actually rejected me the first time.
Really?
Yeah.
Thinking about it.
I got rejected the first 2 times, and now I'm going to hearing. So
yeah, I had to go the third
I'm
round before I got mine approved, and then at that they declared me to be 60% disabled from the Tourette's.
Mm.
So they still expected I could work about half time.
Well, how lovely of them. God. Obviously, they don't have Tourette's, so I'm sorry.
Wait, wouldn't that only be 40% of the time?
Well, yeah, but that's what I mean. Yeah, they couldn't really account for the fact that the Tourette's means that at any given moment my arm is going to do something I'm not aware of. And it's not really like I can schedule these events.
Yeah, no, how that is.
No, you should schedule them totally, Purple, so you know when you can use a circular saw or not.
Whoa! Do you guys see this? Carrie Ann applied at the end of June and was approved by October. That's unheard of.
Some areas, very frequently, rural areas will have a completely different team that's running Social Security and making these decisions, and they're not jaded city people. They understand that just your work that you do can make you a cripple, because they're all used to watching the farmers go old and go crippled because of the hard work they do. So
that's fucking awesome, Aaron.
Good for
Carrie
you.
Ann.
Good for you, Carrie.
Carrie Ann, I'm the same way. I'm physical and mental. But I don't know. It's here in, like I said, it's here in Oregon. We're a very liberal state, so hopefully that'll help me to get where I need to be, because Beck knows all about me and the crap I go through every day. So, it's funny because they interview and they're like, "Oh, can you do this?" I'm like, depends. Does the person next to me smell like my mother's perfume? If that's the case, no, I can't, because I fucking freak out. Or is she eating Laura Scudder's peanut butter, which to this day, at 53 years old, I will not allow that fucking peanut butter in my house, because it's Laura Scudder's.
Never even heard of it.
Yeah, I won't allow it in my house, because my sister and I would be starving and not have anything to eat, and my mom would have her Laura Scudder's peanut butter, which was $high peanut butter at the time, and her velveted cheese hidden in her room. I can't have either one of those things in my fucking house. I can't.
I don't blame you.
It flips a switch in me, and I'm like, no fucking way.
Yeah, I have a weird one that Julie LaVoice, Wine and Reason, that whenever she smokes on stream, I can smell it. But it only happens with her. Anyone else smoking on stream, I don't notice it. So there's
Interesting,
just got to
Purple.
be something about her mannerisms that's reminding me of someone else.
I would think so. I would think that's absolutely the truth there. So, Aaron, I'm really glad that you got approved. I have actually the same thing, like degenerative disc disorder in my back, and I have, I have like 13 subluxations in my back that are playing into this whole thing. So, it gives me hope that you got approved, but hopefully, I will too.
Here, I'll give you the assessor's response to that. Yeah, sure, okay, right.
Right. I've sent in so many doctors' notes and evaluations from visits. I mean, they've got to be so sick of me. But I had to hire a lawyer.
In
So,
Milwaukee, there was this guy that I met, just for an hour. I met the guy. He was turned down for disability. What was his disability, everybody thinks? Well, he was
Does
missing an
that?
arm.
oh, he got turned down. He's missing an arm.
Yeah, it got chopped off in an industrial accident.
And they fucking turned him down.
and his hand on the remaining arm is not all that great. So it's like, what the fuck are you people doing? This guy obviously cannot work.
Well,
Yeah, no
maybe
God,
shit.
it'd be lucky to jerk off, the poor guy. I mean, Jesus.
God, Jesus.
maybe it'll grow back.
When I lost
Not your liver.
when I lost the 3 fingers in the power saw, I was actually having the thought that it was a bit of a relief to finally have a disability people could see.
Yeah.
It's like with the arthritis I have. I got a swollen finger. It's like something I can actually show people. Like, yeah, this is damage.
Mm-hmm. Horror, I think actually you have to have as far as I was concerned, I haven't been approved yet. So I have to have ongoing medical treatment to show that my disability is an ongoing thing, not a new thing. Because I have both, unfortunately, I have both osteoarthritis and rheumatoid arthritis. So I check in with those doctors every 6 months so they can send more paperwork to help hopefully get me approved.
I get called into the office every 3 years to reassess if the Tourette's has gone away.
What the fuck? Tourette's doesn't go away.
Yeah, but every 3rd year I get the notices and I have to go in and convince them again.
That's funny. That's funny. I'm sorry. That is so funny. It's terrible for you, but it's funny because if you
that's
look
what
at
they do with.
Yeah.
That's what they do with Amy Hogan with the shills. Her son's like 14 or 16 now,
Yeah.
and he's severe autistic. He's I think he's not nonverbal.
minimal verbal.
He's
Minimal.
such a sweet kid. He's wonderful.
He's a sweetheart, and he's actually really funny, and he'll type funny things in the chat and be a smart ass,
Okay.
and she'll tell him to stop.
He's genuinely
Matt.
funny.
But he has to have full-time care. He can't be left alone or anything. And every year she has to go and reapply. Like, what do you think? He got better? Like, fuck. What the fuck? And they torture her with it. And it takes months to approve it.
Yes.
And then they have no money and she has no help. And then they dump everything on. And by the time that was like 4 months, he got no help.
Well, it was the, kind of the common theory that back in the 80s, that autism was a children's thing and that people outgrew it.
It was back in the 80s. It was a thought process because they still don't have an actual definition of what causes autism. There are many different ideas and thoughts, but you're absolutely right, Purple, because they thought that autism would wear off. You'd grow out of it,
Yeah. What they finally figured out is that people don't grow out of it. They just learn to get better at masking it.
I agree with you.
That's not how this works. That's not how any of this works.
I should go and get reevaluated. I was actually diagnosed with autism as a kid. And, the definitions and all that have changed over the years.
Oh, very much so. Very much so. Because I used to work with autistic children, and the one that I worked with the last was 19 years old. And by the time I finished working with him, he was almost completely nonverbal. By the time I finished working with him, he was signing things. He was able to communicate better. But the problem is that, his parents didn't understand what autism was. And so they didn't know what they had to do to help him. And he was a very smart young man. It was just a matter of being able to communicate and express what he was thinking in a way that people would understand. So
in a productive
should.
manner, right?
yeah, you should get reevaluated.
Yeah.
Well, I didn't get the autism diagnosis until I was 44.
Wow.
Well, in retrospect, part of the problem is that they have different criteria for diagnosing a man or a woman.
Yes.
So looking back on it, yeah, my symptoms were classically what you would have seen in a teenage girl, so they completely missed it thinking I was a boy.
That makes sense. That totally makes sense to me. Okay, you guys, I'm going to be right back.
Okay.
I don't think you guys want to hear me try to get up out of this bed. It should be fun, though.
You people
Be
should hear me
careful.
when I
Take your time.
get up from the toilet. My left knee creaks so loud. I've had people across the
You're not
closed door
muted.
say, "What the hell was that noise?"
There you go. Now you're muted.
That was my knee.
That was your knee? Yeah. Yeah. When I was doing jobs that were really hard on my knees, I'd walk sometimes and it would just pop really loud.
Yeah, I have that my knee or my shoulder, sometimes it'll pop and everyone in the room will hear it.
Yeah.
Carrie Ann, what do you
know
mean
what
he's
you
trying
mean.
to break you?
Like knock you down and tell you you're worthless and you're no good and all that kind of crap. Oh, she's gotta do dogs. No worries. Dogs first. IRL first.
Oh, hey, Commander, didn't see you
At
come
least
in.
you got something.
Hello.
See, that's like you guys are talking about, like Purple mentioned. Yeah, you can see my disability. And that's the problem I have because I'm in good shape and I'm eating healthier now, so I'm losing weight and I look like I'm totally fucking normal. But
You
I
look
feel like I could
physically
snap
healthy, go
and
work
just
in the
pop
warehouse.
someone's fucking head off. That's how I feel most of the
Yep.
time. I mean, I'm
Well-
fine when I'm here. I'm fine. But I can't get a job from home because nobody wants to fucking hire me because I don't have any call center experience. It's like the only thing I've never done. I've ran entire businesses, but I can't figure out how to fucking answer phones for a call center. Yeah, okay.
And
Yeah,
while my
man.
knee pops, I
It's like
still
that.
have the best of it. I'm the only one in my family who made it past 50 without having either a knee or a hip replaced.
Well, good.
I've still got all the original parts.
Me too. Well, not all of them.
Well,
I am
except
missing-
for the 3
I'm
fingers.
missing 4 inches of a rib that they cut out, one of my floating ribs, and a kidney and an adrenal gland.
Why
We'll
did they
keep
cut the
working
rib
at
out?
it.
To get to the kidney area.
Okay, I wasn't sure if that was part of the same procedure there.
They originally did it to remove the kidney, and it was so big they couldn't get it out very well. And then they realized that the infection was spread through my entire abdominal area. So they cut me all the way open and pulled the kidney out, and then took a metal blades and scraped the infection off of all of my organ sacs and my
Yeah.
intestines and my
Didn't
stomach.
they use
liver.
that Donald Trump approved method and just pour some Clorox on it?
Yeah, wouldn't that be nice?
But you put the
Boy,
the
they
light
had me
in
dosed up with some antibiotics too, man. I didn't shit for weeks.
you put the light
Between
in the
antibiotics and
body.
the painkillers.
You,
What's that,
you,
Mitch?
you put the light in the body.
Yeah. Just put the light in the body. Just shove it up Trump's ass.
He probably would like that.
I was a truck driver over the road for almost 8 years. Then I worked local for another 2.5 years. So 10.5 total just over the road time. I have over 900,000 miles. I have almost 1 million miles under my belt, and I have drove in every major city. So yes, I think I can handle a call center. You're correct.
Oh,
Aaron, the rush hour traffic where I live, it's about 30 seconds, and that's because when two people get to the stop signs, they have to decide who's going to go first.
Because they meet up. Wait.
Yeah,
No,
that's
you.
the
No,
traffic
you.
jam.
No, you. Okay, you go. Okay, I'll go. Takes 30 seconds.
Well, where I lived in Michigan was all the guys on their tractors at bar closing. They took their tractors in because they'd have their driver's license repealed.
Oh my goodness. Oh, what was that question you guys asked? Well, actually, I think it was one of you ladies asked Carrie. She's back now. Oh, the break
just
you
the part
question.
above that Carrie was talking about,
Yeah, the break you. What do you mean by your mom's dude tried to like break you? What did you mean by that?
like break her
Haha.
spirit to get her under
I
control.
remembered.
Got to get them demons out.
That's interesting.
Neurofibromatosis.
Fibromatosis. Neurofibromatosis.
Is that like the fibromyalgia?
Ptosis is usually if it's a no, I think that just means it's chronic.
Yeah, Aaron, they don't care about quality. They just want to know how many you can get through every hour.
Oh, then I couldn't do that job either. They'd fire me too. Because I'm all about taking care of the customer. I've done customer service for like 27 years of my working time.
Yeah, see, then you would be terrible for a customer service center because you'd actually do
Yes.
something right.
Right. That's why they don't want to hire me. I mean,
Sure.
right there on my resume, it has a list of my skills, and the top one is 25 plus years customer service.
It would be a horrible mistake for anyone to put me in a position where I have direct contact with the customers. Just because I don't filter very well, and if they start up with me, I'll tell them exactly what I think of them.
Yeah, same here.
I won't be violent or aggressive, but I'll give them my opinion.
See, that's why I'm so much more ahead of you in life, living here in this room with only $1,000 income a month.
Oh man, really?
Yeah,
That's shitty. I'm sorry, I was talking to horror history.
I just forgot the point I was going to make. That's all.
I'm sorry, I got distracted.
You were saying about living in your room on $1,000 a month.
Yeah, I everything after that I lost.
Okay, I'm gonna have to get out of here.
Jamie.
I have to get out of here. Unfortunately, I got chickens to take care of.
Okay. Thanks for stopping by and hanging out,
Okay.
Mage. I appreciate you.
Go
always
take
fun.
care of your
Mage.
animals.
Yep. See you guys later.
Bye.
Good night.
Okay. Locked me in a
Locked me
dog
crate.
cage. Yeah, for back talking with a padlock.
Oh.
Wow. Had me kiss his feet to get dinner every time he ordered pizza for the meal. What the fuck? And you were how old? This started when you were 6? Jesus fucking Christ.
Yeah.
Shows you the desperation in the mother, doesn't it, Farron? It's someone desperate to feel wanted and feel needed that they'll take anything. Even the asshole that abuses their kid. And it's sad, but
Unfortunately, it's very
she was
common
probably neglected as a child as well.
Yeah, many people would rather be abused than ignored.
9. Yeah, my abuse started about the time I was like out running around doing normal kid stuff, like 4 to 5. That's when it all started because I wasn't next to mom or next to the sisters all the time anymore. I was more independent. So that's when my brothers decided they were going to start beating the shit out of me all the time.
Mm-hmm.
And doing stuff like pushing me down out of nowhere because they have an attitude with me because I don't know, I'm in their vicinity. And I go to get up and stay down where you belong.
Yep.
Fuck you. This is why I never like went to college and tried to do anything with my life. And I just figured this out 9 months ago, eight months ago. Like, thanks for that.
Yeah, I got through my childhood by being good at hiding and just staying out of sight as much as possible.
Yeah, unfortunately, I wasn't able to do that because I was forced to share a room with them.
Well, there were so many kids in the house, and there were, not just us, but we had some foster kids and just neighborhood kids. So I don't think my dad could ever even tell if we were all there or not.
Oh, I see. He played the good daddy in front of her. And
Yep.
then when she was gone, he abused you, but you were so scared because of what he said when she was gone, you played along. I understand.
Yeah, classic abuser
She was as
tactics.
much a victim as you guys, yeah. Yeah, no, but that's what those type of men prey on. And, well, not just men, people. Women do it to men too.
Yep.
They prey on that vulnerability, and they know they have a shoe in to do whatever they want. And they use people. Women usually don't do as much physical abuse. It's more monetary abuse, and they'll cheat and do all that kind of shit because they're just after whatever they have. They don't really care about the kids or anything else.
Well, my ex did that to me, and even though they were her kids, they weren't actually, my biological kids.
Right.
I only stayed around as long as I did because I was worried about protecting the kids.
Yeah. I've been hurt by relationships because I got cut off from the children. It really upset me.
Yeah.
I get it.
Yeah, after she kicked me out, I definitely missed the kids and the dog much more than I missed her.
I can understand that. Absolutely.
And then she was all pissed after she kicked me out that I didn't fight for our relationship.
I've only had one person kick me out, like literally like kick me out.
Mm-hmm.
And she was really fucking crazy and had some serious daddy issues. Yeah, she was nuts. She worked at the school. She was a social worker and she wrote up IEPs for children. And she was fucking crazy.
Anyone I ever had an extended relationship
Of course. Yeah, go ahead, Purple.
Anyone I'd ever had an extended relationship had been abused as a child.
Yeah, I tend to, I think that those of us that have mental health issues tend to attract each other.
Yeah.
But then what happens is it's hard to deal with each other. And I think that's pretty much what I believe happened with Heather.
Yeah.
Because she had her own shit and she couldn't deal with mine because I got a lot.
No, I only had the one that, that I really felt it was a major problem. The rest of them we worked it out with. I mean, I'm not going to say like my late fiance and I never fought, but, whatever happened, yeah, by the next morning, we'd always sort it out.
Yeah, but that's different. That's productive fighting. Fighting is okay in a relationship as long as it's productive and it's not like violent or you're not putting each other down or, you're vocalizing your feelings loudly. Do it. It's part of you're going to yell at each other at some point. Everybody knows that. Psychologists will tell you that it's going to happen. But if it's productive at the end of it and you've learned something from it and you've gained something in your relationship, then it's okay.
Yeah, if anybody says they never fight, at least one of them is seriously suppressing things.
I agree with that because at some point you're going to, even if it's a small petty thing, there's going to be something. You can't live with somebody and not have something irritate you. There's always one thing, Actually, that's not true. I would stay the weekends at Heather's and she never did anything to bother me. She was just really sweet and kind and considerate all the time. Never get one of those relationships again.
That would be part of my problem about ever having another relationship. was that with my ex-fiance, even though she needed a lot of care, there was, the level on me was overwhelming working and taking care of her. But once you found out what it feels like to truly be cherished, it's kind of hard to settle for anything else.
No, I agree. See, that's the problem I have right now is despite everything, including me freaking out with her I freaked out on her on the phone while I was on that medication. And I called her and I apologized and told her about what the medication did to me. And she was like, "Oh my God, I'm so sorry that happened. We thought it was going to help you." And I was like, "Yeah, at first I felt great. And then once it was in my system all the way, I went nuts." And she was, her response was, "Well, hey, you can't help with the medicine, dude. Like, don't worry about it." That's a fucking adult. That's hard to find. Because some other people I apologized to, I did not get that reaction. It was my fault anyways. So
I would have to find somebody who treats me as well as I treat my pets.
And that is ideal. Discussions.
Yeah, it's not like I have a spoiled kitty here.
No, you don't at all, Perps. You don't at all. I know. See, that's all you have to do, right? Just all you have to do is learn each other. That's the entire trick. The entire thing. Here's the trick to every relationship ever. Ready? Listen to each other. Yep. Like, don't, "Oh yeah, honey, I hear you." No. Hear them and fucking discuss shit and talk and be open and honest from day one. And if you do that and you last more than a few years, you have a really good fucking shot. See, my problem is I'm honest, and people go, "Whoa, damn, you got some shit."
Well, Beck, I've been married 22 years, and the first 10 were not ideal. We had a lot of shit we worked out, but here we are, post the shit working out, and 12 years later, there's reasons. He doesn't ever stand up and tower over me when he's angry because he knows it triggers me, and it triggers me to a place where, I'm not proud of it, but I've punched him, I've kicked him, I've had to be restrained on the floor because I had a flashback, and it's not a good place to be. So we work it out.
No. Yeah.
Sorry.
But see, that's the point, though. You guys did that. You and Aaron did that in your relationships, and that's fucking beautiful. That's how it should be every time.
Yeah, you worked through a lot of stuff there.
A lot.
I keep telling Deb the only reason she's still my friend is I just haven't pissed her off enough yet. It'll happen.
Fuck, please. Good luck.
Yes, you're right, Aaron. You're right. People will treat their friends amazing, and you get shoved aside for their friends, and then you're interesting when there's nothing else going on. I've been there too. I've had that happen. I've dated a lot of. I went on a lot of. Yeah.
You've dated a lot of women because you're
I dated a lot of women because like after a couple months, I know what's going on, and I'm either in or out. And I'm sorry, it's just been I'm out.
I'm just playing with you, right?
I know.
But I didn't mean that.
You're 1.5 months in. You're 6 weeks in, and bitch tries to play a mind game with you.
You're like
for some kind of control.
There's the door. There's the door.
I said, "Oh, really?" And she goes, "Yeah, really." And I said, "Okay." And I walked around past her. I grabbed my shoes. I put them on. I grabbed my extra pair of shoes I had with me, grabbed my bag, reached in, grabbed my toothpaste and toothbrush, threw the shit in my bag, and I fucking went for the door. And she's like, "That's it?" And I said, "Oh, yeah. Yeah, we're done."
Now, see,
Hello,
Deb,
Sabrina.
Hi, Sabrina.
See, Deb, I don't even count those as relationships.
No,
because most of the people I start out with, I just want to use you for sex, and it's only the ones that hang around more than 6 months that I consider a relationship.
With good reason. With very good reason. I mean, my very first serious relationship was my high school sweetheart, and we ended up having a child together, and I married him. But we were only married 2 years, a year and a half before I left, but it took us actually 6 years to get divorced because he was playing mind games with me. So, that's just, I don't have a lot of luck with the people saying, "Oh, I'm going to be here for you forever." But I'll be here for you forever if you do things the way I want them done, or you do this. And I'm like, no. Either you now at 53, I'm like, motherfucker, you either take me how I am, or you can fucking pound sand.
Well,
because
the other thing is people spend the first 3-4 months trying to impress you.
Yes, they do.
And then after that, you find out what they're really like.
Yes, ma'am. Yes,
this is exactly why, this is what I tell people. I tell young people this all the time. Don't take somebody out to dinner. Don't do that. You meet at like Starbucks or some coffee shop or smoothie shop, whatever your gig is. Meet at the bar if you want to have a beer, whatever you want to do. But you don't go out to a fancy restaurant or anything because you're setting expectations that most people cannot maintain.
Well,
so if you're like General Joe Schmo like me, don't do that. You go out somewhere cheap, you buy a coffee for her, or you buy your own, you go Dutch, and you sit down and you get to know each other. Fuck the fancy restaurants and the pomps and circumstance. All it does is set both of you up for bullshit. Be yourself. Yeah. Wear whatever you would wear every day on your day off. That's what you wear. Don't dress up. That's bullshit. It's a fucking lie. It's not how you are.
The other strategy is what I do, and that's you just completely do not go out with anybody anytime ever.
Well,
that's going to be my new strategy. Nobody wants my ass, Jenny.
Just invite
That's
them
a lie, and you know it, Beck.
Nobody wants me.
Invite them along to something you would normally do anyway.
You know,
for me, the perfect first date is I'm going to take you to a museum. Not only is it something I would have done anyway, but there's going to be so much shit in there, we're going to find something that's going to start a conversation.
I think that's a great idea. Like, I don't believe in I think I'm rare, though, because if I actually, back in the day, if I ask a guy out, I'm like, hey, let's go to dinner, right? I would be like, but I'm paying because I did the asking, right? But then what I learned later on in life was that, no, we're going to meet and have dinner together, but we're both paying for our own dinner because I don't even know if I like you yet. Yeah. I think you're attractive, but that physical attraction wanes. It wanes. And I don't know that once you open your mouth, am I going to be able to stand you? So let's,
Yeah, and most important, no fuck for food.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely not. I do not fuck for food. No. I could feed my own goddamn self and my 3 kids when I was dating. You want to be part of my life, then you got to stick around for 6 months, which is what my husband did. He stuck around for 6 months before I'd even introduce him to my kids. And then when he could only come over and spend like play dates at the house because he had to get to know a family. He was a single man come dating a woman with 3 children. That's a hell of a change. So,
yeah.
Yes, Carrie. I've been there too. You know what I did with the last one was I taught her how to be stronger and stand up for herself and tell people no. And then she told me no. And that's the honest God truth.
I've done that a couple of times and I still think it was a good thing. Actually, except for my ex and
I wouldn't trade it for anything.
Yeah, except for my ex and one other one, I've actually managed to remain friends with virtually everyone I seriously dated.
You know, Purple, I take my hat off for you for that because I tell you what, I'm telling you the straight truth. I would not stop to piss on my first ex-husband if he was burning on the side of the road. I'd let that motherfucker burn, probably throw some gas on it while I was at it because I hate him so much.
I was going to say, don't you dare piss on him. It might put it out.
Yeah, no, because he was
shit on him though. Just watch your ass for the flames.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to hurt myself. I literally would like throw extra flames on the fire with him. But there's a whole.
That would be better.
Wait here, asshole. I'll get kindling.
Let Jenny go.
Go ahead, Jen.
I was just thinking. I was just visualizing you, Deb. Trying to squat above a fire. Guys can do that. We can't.
Yeah, no, that's for sure. I'm not going to burn my hoo-ha over that effort. I wouldn't. Honestly, like, when I heard that he had health problems he got back to me because they're like, well, you might want to tell your guys' daughter. And I'm like, well, first off, she has no patience for him. I have a little. She has none. Right? She's like, no, you're not my dad. And so when I found out he was having health issues, I called my daughter. I said, hey, listen, do you care? Do you want the information? She's like, nope, don't even fucking care. I'm like, okay. I just want to make sure. So no, I don't burn myself to. I probably should change my saying. I shouldn't piss on the fire. I would probably like literally throw more matches and more firewood in there. So
I'm gonna guess not. I'm gonna say he doesn't know. That's my guess.
Jeez.
No, I know what you mean though, Aaron. I have seen people fuck me over and cheat on me and run off with the one they cheated on me with.
Yep.
And then fucker's got a bunch of money and just thinks they're perfect and doesn't know that I watched this bitch take her son's Tylenol 3 from when he was sick. It was a suppository, shove it up her ass, and then snort some fucking pills. I bet you didn't know that.
Oh, God damn.
And she tried to get me to do it. And I was like, no, I'm good. And then we didn't last much longer after that.
Sabrina, that's really wonderful. I wish the best for you on that.
I was just going to say the same thing, Sabrina. I'm so excited for you. I want details. Please, please, please come back and tell us what happens. Fingers crossed. No double cross, Beck. That's bad luck. One cross.
But I have my toes crossed too.
Oh, okay. So it's even. Cool.
So it's
I'm
on
not wearing
again,
my
so
glasses,
even.
so my eyes are crossed.
There we go. We're 6. It's perfect. Perfect.
Wait a minute.
Can you see how much support we have here for you, Sabrina? We are all excited for you. I hope everything works out.
Yeah, I can do my eyes. I can't do the right hand with the fingers anymore because that finger's not long enough.
I was going to say, yeah.
Same, Farron, same. See, that whole thing with my brothers telling me I wasn't good enough convinced me that if I hit on someone, I'm just going to get turned down. So I don't even try.
See, that's why I'm in your life. That's why I'm in your life.
I bump into somebody that.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
I'm sure you guys all know the story, but like, Beck and I are like brother and sister now, so it's never going to happen. But like the first time I met Beck, I was all sorts of attracted and all like swooning. When he told me he was trans, I'm like, the fuck you are.
That's exactly what she said.
I know, I'm like, the fuck you
so
are.
I was like, okay, so seriously, Deb, are you like, okay, we've been playing for like 2 months now. Like, are you seriously hitting on me? She's like, fuck yeah, I am.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay,
dude.
So you do realize I'm trans, right? And she was like, what? And I said, I'm trans. I'm transgender.
Nope.
Female to male. And she goes, the fuck you are.
That's why
goes,
you
oh my
have
God,
me.
I'm sorry. And I said, don't be sorry. That's so affirming. Like, say it again. You know?
That's what I'm saying though. Like it made me realize like you can't be just attracted to somebody for one thing. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, I like penis, but you know what? I really fucking like the way I really like Beck. So I don't care about any of that kind of stuff. I like Beck as a person, and that's what it's important for me. Anyway, when Sabrina's talking about meeting her crush and stuff like that, I'm like, fuck yeah, let's do it, because it's the person. It's the person. It's not anything else. It's just the person. Sorry, went on a tantrum there.
First of all, Sabrina, you have no reason to be nervous because you are sweet and intelligent and kind, and you listen well, and you're well spoken, and you're a great person. Yes. So, just think of it. You might get like a really good cuddle tonight.
Yeah, well, if you're both on the same spectrum,
it's
that's
better
a good
than
start.
Sex any day.
That's really the deal breaker. That's why Sloth Girl and I can't live together.
Really?
I'm poly. She's not. That's the deal breaker.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
She could not deal with me having other people. I don't think I could ever deal with just having one person the rest of my life. So that's just not going to work. So we've got separate apartments in the same building. We take care of each other.
Well, I understand that.
I'm so introverted. I don't even know if I want one, never mind multiple. I just don't want to deal with anybody's bullshit. So if I find one, she's going to have to be amazing. She's going to have to be kind of like the last one, but I don't know. In a better mental health place, maybe.
But I understand what you're saying, Purple, because like my husband and I are poly, and I've had, multiple boyfriends off on and off throughout the words. I tried to get Beck to be my boyfriend, but he's like, fuck, we live so far away. Yeah, whatever. No, so I understand that because like I can't imagine going back to what I was before my husband and I entered the poly relationship. I just can't imagine it.
Yeah. Well, I've always been poly. In high school after prom, the next day we went to Great America, the theme park.
Mm-hmm.
Somewhere in the middle of the day, we wound up trading dates, and nobody even seemed to notice, let alone care.
Oh, hell yeah. Oh, hell yeah.
The flirting just went, yeah, never mind.
Well, it just kind of went like, you two like the same kind of rides more than we do, so you go ahead. We'll wait here for you.
Ah, got it.
See, that's what life is missing, is when you go into like a big fair or some kind of fest, in town, lasts for 3-4 days or whatever, that they should have like tents set up here and there that people can go rent like a half an hour and fuck their brains out with whoever they're
what a great fucking idea, Jen. What a great idea.
So the kids can't see and just do it.
I knew I liked you, Jen.
The city could take a cut.
I'm gonna brag on myself because I've realized over this last year of all this mental health stuff that I'm pretty great. So I'm gonna brag on myself for a second. This is how I did it with Heather. I started the minute I saw her, I was head over heels in love with her. So I started working with her, and I was just polite the same to everybody. And then when she started getting to know me and started joking around with me a little bit more, I started joking around with her a little bit more, and I kind of like weaseled my way in a little bit. And got to the point that at the 3.5 month mark, almost 4 months of me working there, this lady came in, and she was a shorter black lady, and she was really pretty. She was like 5'3" or something. She was like this tall on me, and she was really pretty. And they knew each other apparently because they were like, "Hey," and they hug. I haven't seen you in forever. Glad to see you're doing good. Blah blah blah. I found out later that this lady had brought patients to Heather, the same patient to Heather, for like 15 years or something. It was somebody had been disabled her whole entire life. So they knew each other because of that. So I said to Heather, I said, "Hey, how do you say her name again?" Because it was really weird. It was like Wyanetta or something. Some old fashioned name. So I asked her how to say it again. And I said, "Hey, do you think maybe I could can you ask her if I can have her phone number?" And Heather was cutting up vegetables at the counter for her lunch, and she just looked at me. And she looked back down, and she goes, "Yeah, I don't know. I think she's dating somebody." So she confessed to me at the 6 month mark that I did it on purpose. I knew that she had a thing for me. This woman was bringing me food every day. Like, here's pork chops and mashed potatoes and broccoli. And here's a steak with blah, blah, blah. I had extra. And then we started dating. And she was like, "Yeah, I was totally at the store buying 4 of everything. So I had extra to bring to you." And I said, "I know that." I said, "No woman feeds you every day and is not into you. That does not happen. If a woman does something out of the way for nobody else but you, she's into you." So, but it made her realize how much she was falling in love with me. And that was when I went and talked to her. That was it. She was like, "Okay, fuck this. I can't do this. I can't hide this anymore." So I know how to do that, but I'm really like slow and chill with it. I'm not a walk up to a woman in a bar and go, "Hey, baby, can I have your number?"
Because sometimes that's rude. Just fucking, I'm here with my friends. Leave me alone. The subtle
I thought
approach
about doing, like, the best way to hit on a woman is this, I think, right? "Excuse me, ma'am. I just wanted to give you this in case you decide to use it," and just hand her your phone number. "I hope you have a great night," and just walk away. And put them in control of the whole thing.
Mm-hmm. I would have sucked that up, Beck. You didn't even have to try that hard with me. I think all you said was hi, and I was like, "Oh."
Shut up.
Yeah, see, I can't start conversations with people. And, basically for me, that's since the 90s. All of my relationships have started online, and generally it started with chatting online, and it's like, okay, you want to have sex, and after that we wind up getting to know each other for a while.
Yeah. No, I'm actually with you,
Yeah,
Purple.
I can't do the games. I don't read body language or any of the flirting, so I just have to be very upfront about it, and we'll figure it out as we go along.
I mean, I'm not gonna I had a very long-term boyfriend. I had a boyfriend for probably, I'd say 8 years or so, and he was married, and she knew all about me, and his kids knew about me. I was Aunt Deb and everything like that. But then something changed in his life. He became a politician, and he decided being polyamorous was not to his benefit anymore. And so like 4 or 5 years ago, we said no more, right? And I met Beck right after that, and like I was so tired of games and bullshit because unbeknownst to me, he was playing a lot of games with me and stuff like that. I met Beck, and Beck's just straight up like, hey, and he's like, you're cute. And I'm like, all right, you cute too. So we started flirting, and I was actually a guest of someone else that brought me into the circle. And after that, I mean, I think Beck and I, for a while, we were chatting with each other in the side chat while we were on live stream, flirting just outrageously with each other. And then he finally told me that he was trans, and I was like, well, I don't give a fudge sickles. I don't. Because like what I learned is that through my long-term boyfriend was that he was a man and I was attracted to men, whatever. But he was a manipulative, and he ghosted me in the end. After 8 years, he fucking ghosted me. That's just wrong, in my opinion. Whereas
you can't even have a conversation with someone. Come the fuck on.
No, and Beck and I were totally upfront and honest with each other. And I was like, God, you know what it is? I need this kind of relationship. I don't need the bullshit of everything. So I learned that there are just different ways to approach relationships, and what works the best for everybody is different. So whatever works the best for you is what works for you.
Yep.
I'm going to petition for them to add another letter to the acronym LGBTQIA2SN.
2SN.
Then I can fit in there for myself as non-sexual or never sexual.
Are you a never sexual, or you don't identify as asexual?
No, I haven't had any sex in 45 years.
Motherfucker, I'm gonna buy you some recharger batteries and a fucking toy because I'm so sorry, sweetheart.
No, it's okay. Please. She's got plugins. Okay. Yeah, buy the ones that are rechargeable. It's fine. Don't worry about the batteries.
No, rechargeable batteries are important. That's what I have for my Bob. So I
have an AC powered wand.
Oh, okay. I just wanted to make sure you was taking care of you. I would have gonna, buy you something to help you out there.
Actually, since we're all being frank and everything like this, and I don't really care what people think, I can't orgasm anymore.
Oh. Are you on antidepressants by any chance?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, me too. It takes an
makes it hard as fuck.
Yeah, it takes an act of God, my husband's tongue, and my freaking Bob to get anything going on down there.
Takes POV porn for me.
See? But it's what they say. They say antidepressants they decrease your ability to go to O-Town. So,
it's gotten a lot harder for me since I've been on the HRT, but that was expected.
That's true.
Yeah, it is. It is harder on HRT. No, I'm sorry. It was before and after.
Yeah, I used to be able to do it a couple times a day. Now it takes a lot of very direct stimulation.
A lot, right? We're talking like 30, 40 minutes if I'm on the same page with you, Purple, even with my toy. I'm like, God damn.
Well, luckily for me, I'm on testosterone, so it's not that bad.
Oh, poor Gary.
Somebody else wouldn't be able to do it. It would have to be me.
That's why it's so hard for me now is the testosterone suppressants are being effective now.
45 minutes, up, buddy? You are really fast.
Dude, I tell you what, it's a lot, but I don't have the patience. That's one of the things that really gets upsetting to me is that I've learned that with me, and it might be all women, I don't know, but like if I'm not in the moment and concentrating on something sexual in that moment, I'll start thinking about the pork roast I have in the goddamn crock pot, or the fact that I got to do something for my husband and and then it's gone. It's fucking gone.
Yeah, so, if I'm not going to have a full hour undisturbed, it's not even worth trying.
Nope, I'm with you, Purple. I'm with you.
Okay, I'm going to pause you guys for just a second because I want to reply to this before it gets farther up in the chat. Normally, I am a wallflower as well. I've always been afraid to like go up and talk to people. Now, if someone like at work is forced to talk to me, I'm like, hey, what's up? I'm fine. I can mask. I can, do all that. I'm a happy guy shit, But when it comes to hitting on people, it's a whole different fucking ball of wax.
Now,
But that shows me how crazy in love I was with her because I was not going to give up.
That's right.
I went to her and I fucking cried because I was like, I know you probably want nothing to do with me and I'm okay with that, but I have to get this off my chest. I have to tell you, and then we can just move on. If you're not interested, that's fine, but I have to know if you are.
Yeah.
And I told her the truth, and I was absolutely, because that's who I am. I told her everything was every bit of the truth. And she hugged me, and I thought she was going to kiss me, and then it was weird. And then she told me later that she almost kissed me, and then was like, "No, I can't do that. Oh my God, I can't do that. I can't do that. Beck works for me. I can't do that." No, I'm normally like that too. I don't like, honestly, like Deb knows this now, but I flirt with all kinds of women on YouTube. And at the time, she just thought I was flirting with her back, so I just flirt with her.
Listen, because I am special, motherfucker, and you know it. I'm worthy of the only flirt.
Well, I have a couple of people, who flirt with me in the chat, but I'm just going to assume it doesn't really mean anything unless they get very overt.
Well, I'm going to give credit where credit's due here. So, like, Beck knew from the very beginning I was married. He also knew from the very beginning that I was polyamorous, and so was my husband. So we're all into that. But I was
and he and I get along great. We're
we do, absolutely. Yep. And the thing is also is that I talked to my husband. I was like, "Listen," I said, "Beck, my husband's giving the okay. He's going to buy me a ticket. I'm going to fly down to New Mexico. We can have our little hoo and get back to our lives." And I'm going to give him credit where credit is due because he told me the next day, he goes, "I can't have you do that." And I'm like, "What the fuck? You got some disease or something?" He's like, "No, you are worth love. You're worth being loved. And I'm in love with someone else. And I cannot do that." I said, "Okay, so you're not polyamorous as I am or advanced in polyamory or whatever the case may be." I said, "You know what? I appreciate that." I was hurt, of course.
Yeah.
But I also appreciate that. And obviously I wasn't so hurt that I threw away our friendship because even after that, I flew down to New Mexico to take care of him after his surgery. I will do anything I can for Beck, but it's just like a matter of being honest. And flirting was great with him. Even sexting was great with him, but the real thing, he couldn't do it. So I appreciate and I absolutely applaud you for being honest because that's something that relationships can always use more of is honesty.
See, I tell people I don't know how to be anything but honest, and they're like, "Yeah, right." No, it's just who I am.
Yeah.
I lied from the time I was 8 years old till 12 because I wanted attention because my sisters and one of my had moved out of the house, and then 2 years later, one of my brothers left, and then it was just three of us, and they were hanging out together, and nobody was around, so I started lying. And I lied until I was like, no, actually, it wasn't till 12. I was 10 and a half. And I was like, I don't like this. I don't like doing this. I don't like this about
shit.
me.
Well,
and I stopped. And I have not gone back since, except for little white lies to save people's feelings.
Yeah.
That's the only, and I have to force myself to do it. It's hard.
Well, like Deb was saying, in a relationship, though, those kind of reveals are always extremely difficult. They're very painful. But if you put it off, it's going to eventually come out. And the longer it's been put off, the more it's going to hurt. So you're better off just doing it right up front.
Absolutely.
Yes,
absolutely. And Baron, I am a red girl. I'm red.
A red girl?
Yeah, New Mexico, they have two things. They have red and green sauce. Which one do you want? Chilies.
Oh, okay.
And if you're really special, you get the Christmas version where they're all blended together.
See, I taught her, Farron. I taught her well. And you know what's funny is we didn't even go out the whole time she was here because I picked her up at the airport. We came back here, got her settled, and got my stuff all moved over to my landlord's area for the week.
Got surgery?
I had set up everything, and then the next morning was surgery, and we had to leave at 6 a.m. or something.
It was ridiculous, and we were almost late. We were late, weren't we?
Oh,
Yeah,
hey.
15
Yeah.
minutes late for check-in because the fucking GPS took me to the wrong goddamn hospital. I was so
Happy
pissed off.
birthday, JR.
Happy birthday, JR. I didn't know it was your birthday. Happy birthday.
Oh, happy birthday, buddy. I'm glad to see you're still kicking. I know.
Happy birthday.
Was that too soon?
I
That
don't
could have
know
been a
you, though.
mean joke.
Wait,
No,
what?
JR's a good. JR used to hang out on Neil's all the time.
Right on.
He's an older guy and he's got white hair and a big long beard and shit.
I don't think I've ever spoke with JR.
Yeah, he hasn't been around. He had a bunch of health problems. He was in and out of the hospital lately, and
Oh.
so I'm just glad to see him.
Well, then, JR, I'm glad that you're healthy and back with us. And yeah.
Actually, a big part of what made my relationship with my late fiance, was that she was used to everybody lying with her.
Mm.
And so my being blunt, and I distinctly remember the one night that, like I said, not only do I not read body language,
Mm.
but since I never noticed other people's body language, I never learned to mimic it either.
That makes sense.
Yeah, so one night she's just looking at me and she's like totally astonished that your body language says you're lying, but you've got no reason to lie about this.
Yeah.
So she knew that I was always being honest with her, that I couldn't hide it if I wanted to.
Exactly.
You know what, Aaron? I have to say that that's an issue that has come up in my marriage. Is my husband is super blunt. Just he's like, why sugarcoat shit? I'm just going to tell you how it is. And for me, it's important that things be sugarcoated because I can receive the same message. I'm not going to do that. Versus, I'd really prefer that we do something else. The softer the method of delivery is for me, the more you're going to get out of me. So, I understand where it's hard for somebody to handle the bluntness at first. But like I said, we're 22 years into this now. And, he says shit to me. Still, I'll look at him like, oh, harsh. But that's our love language is like, he'll deliver it and I'll just say it was harsh. And then he'll go away and he'll come back and deliver it in a much softer way for me. So, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, it does. No, Carrie, I'm like that too. My whole family, we're all very literal people. So we know that we do it and we're all kind of used to it. So it's kind of a joke in the family. Like someone will say something and we'll take it literal, we'll respond like it's literal. And then the other person laughs because you're, and the person that you're saying it to is like, huh? They don't have a clue where you're going.
Yeah, my reflex response is always to take it completely literally until I can run it through about 3 times. But another thing I have a problem with then, is that a lot of people think that, they'll let you down easy by making an excuse or something. And it's like, it doesn't occur to me that that's what they're doing. So if they say, I can't do this with you because of this, then I'm like, well, I'll help you with that. Or, oh, I can take care of that first and then we can go.
Yeah, Purple, I find myself in that situation a lot because of the way that I deliver. Things need to be delivered to me. But I found that if my husband is seated, or especially my son, I'm only 5'2". For those of you who don't know, I'm only 5'2". My son is 6'5". So when we've always had a great bantering relationship. Sometimes he gets a little harsh and I kind of squeach down. He's like, Mom, I'm never going to hurt you. I'm like, but son, you don't understand the position you're in. So I can take the only reason that I ask for softer messages is when it triggers that feeling of not feeling worthy. Yeah. Do you see what I'm saying? I feel like I'm not worthy because the way he's delivering it makes me feel less than. And that's my issue. But, it's amazing how somebody sitting down for me or somebody going away and coming back and saying something, the same exact thing, but just delivered in a different manner makes a difference in the way that you can perceive the message.
Well, if it helps any, you're still looking down at Sloth Girl.
Aw, what? Wait, what? I'm looking down at her? Really? I don't meet.
She said she's 5 foot nothing.
I don't meet many people that are shorter than me at all. Wow.
Yeah, it's kind of funny. I am literally a full head taller than she is. I
Are
can
you
stand
really?
behind her and put my chin on her head.
That's so funny.
That is
my
funny.
my boys' dad, my two sons, their biological father is 6'6". So at 5'2" and 6'6", you know, there's a Mutt and Jeff thing there. But like my the one who's 6'5", he literally, if I stand next to him, he could set his beer on top of my head and just pick it up like it's a in table. I'm like, dude, don't do that. That's not even right. He goes, it's funny, Mom. It's really funny. I'm like, okay.
Well, I'm 5'9", which was average for being a man.
Mhm.
But now as a woman, I feel really tall.
I'm sure you do, actually. I'm sure you do. Because it's like, even though standards have changed, and don't get me started on why the height differences and all that craps have happened, but it was 5'9". 5'9" was average up until what?
Yeah.
7-8 years, maybe even 10 years ago, when 6'1", and then it became even bigger. You know, so.
Well, and it doesn't help that I can't find women's shoes that have less than a 3-inch heel on them. You know, so it's like, then I'm 6 foot.
No, agreed. Because I don't wear heels at all because of my really bad back. So I cannot ever wear heels. So I wear cute little sandals that are flats. It doesn't help my my height problem, but you know.
Yeah, it's just hard to find any flat shoes, and you know, if I want anything that looks at all cute, it's going to have at least a 3-inch heel.
Agreed. Oh, I wanted to go back to something. I don't know where Beck went.
17 years. That's an achievement.
Say that again.
On that.
I'm sorry.
Reese said we hit 17 years 2 days ago.
Good for them. Congratulations. That's awesome.
Yeah, that's an achievement.
You know, it's funny because, like,
yep. Well, that is true. It was
John
funny.
says he's a fashionista.
You know,
it was funny because when Prophet Azad came to Minnesota, I got to meet him and Alias Fake Name. The three of us had lunch together.
That's awesome.
And both of them are like 6'4", 6'5". You know, so
Really?
it's like, yeah, I didn't realize until I'm standing there with the two of them, you know, we're waiting for a table, and it's like how affirming it was to feel short for once.
that was
yeah,
a
I
great
have the
thing.
opposite problem. Purple. I was the perfect height before for women because they always felt safe with me, and now I'm too short.
Yeah.
Not for me, because I remember when we met at the airport, I literally walked into Beck's hug. I didn't even hit my head on his chin or anything. It was the perfect height. Just saying.
Yep, you fit right under.
I do. But, you know, I'm just short. Back surgery killed me. I was 5'4" at one point and then had back surgery, and I'm back down to 5'2".
Yeah, I am wondering about the thing, you know, that it's kind of a myth about trans women getting shorter. And I am kind of wondering if there isn't something to that. Because if you look at my medical records, it is now saying I'm about an inch shorter than I was 2 years ago.
Yeah. And you know what I think about that is actually because I've noticed this, especially in my own stepmom. She used to be 5'7", so she towered over me, right? Now she is same height as I am. So, like, my dad's like, people don't shrink. I'm like, osteoporosis sets in, buddy. So,
and if you don't drink enough water and keep yourself hydrated,
yep.
your discs will smoosh.
Well, I know what happens with age, and there's also a thing about that. Some say it happens with the HRT. So I guess it's probably some combination of the two of those.
I think so, absolutely, because anytime you're doing any like hormonal shifting in the body, the things that happen are so like complex. It happens over so many different levels. It wouldn't surprise me at all that isn't a contributing factor.
Yeah.
Nope. Wouldn't surprise me either.
Yeah, there's been a lot of changes, and it's like, yeah, most of the stuff I expected. There's been some stuff that's been mentally a little weird for me adjusting.
Oh, I bet. I can't even begin to imagine. I mean, just going through menopause, because I'm 53, it's about that time in my life. It's been rough. Like, seriously, I have to wax all the time now because I'm growing like too much hair on my face. And I can't imagine having to go through all of that just to affirm who you are.
Well,
you know,
I'm 58 and I'm on the HRT, so my body doesn't know if this is menopause or puberty now.
I bet not. Jesus, how horrible.
But the main thing, and this is really more a therapy thing, was just not realizing I had spent my whole life looking kind of scruffy and trying to have people not look at me.
Isn't that interesting?
And now it's like, now that I can dress the way I really want to and everything, and it's like, I feel that out in public, I'm smiling at people more. People are coming up and talking to me just somehow the way I'm carrying myself, I've suddenly become more approachable.
Absolutely, you have become more approachable. It's scientifically, you can trace it back because, sorry, Beck, you want to go or you want me to continue?
Finish. Go ahead.
You are actually finally happy and feeling accepted in who you are. So you put off a much more positive vibe, and being able to affirm that with dressing the way you want to dress or even talking the way you want to talk it absolutely attracts other people because, it's proven. The happier you are, the better the vibes you give off, more people are attracted to you. And so that absolutely does not surprise me at all.
Yeah, what I was going to say is I got so used to walking like this because I kept trying to hide my chest that I have to remind myself that I can. This is okay
stand up
now.
Straight now.
Yeah, I can actually put my shoulders back now and do it. See, even when I'm sitting here, I do this. It's just habit.
Yep.
It's habit to hide myself. Yeah. So I'm trying to learn to, like, I'll get out of my truck and I'll go. Now I'm ready to walk in the store.
I'm doing the same thing now too. That I feel that I'm walking straighter. I'm not slouching over, because while it wasn't a conscious thing, I was subconsciously just doing anything I could to keep people to not talk to me.
No, because you were more comfortable hiding. You were hiding who your true self was, and that absolutely showed itself in the way that you talk with people. Because if your level of comfortable is hiding who you are, not letting people actually know it goes out to everything. Just like Aaron just said, confidence is level 1, man. If you're confident, then
I had just
that's why people don't like me
and hope that nobody would notice me.
Purple, you're worth a notice every day. You were worth a notice multiple times a day because you're a good person.
Yep.
My problem is I found my confidence a few years back, and since I found it, people don't like me when I walk into work now because they know I'm confident and they're not.
That's because
that asshole is always the one that comes after me. I always know in the first day. I can tell by how they're acting around me. I've been around people my whole entire life, working customer service and retail, and I can read people like a motherfucker. I always know who it's going to be. I can tell you in the first. Well, I told Kyle in the first day of that last job I had.
Yeah,
and I was right.
Yeah,
my job lasted 2.5 days.
I am wondering how this is going to play out because I haven't had a chance to really go to, like any group functions or public events since I started transitioning. So I think I've been out in public, like shopping and that day-to-day things. But it's like, still kind of concerned about the COVID and everything. We haven't done any of the gaming conventions or anything like that.
No, and I think honestly, Purple, the way when you present yourself and you're going out and I honestly, because I suffer with this a lot, I prefer to hide in the background, but I have a lot to say and I have a lot of things that I want to display to people and really help people. And I get that same vibe off of you. And it's all about the way that you present yourself and the fact that like you stand there loud and proud but it's easier said than done. You know what I'm saying? So it's going to be like when you go out there, you're going to be like, okay, day one, I might not be so open to all this silly, all putting myself there for. But day two, I'm more confident. Day three, I'm really confident. I'm going to go with it. So, you just have to be ready to really change the way you present yourself in your comfort level, if that makes any sense.
Yeah. Hey,
Oh,
Mage.
real quick. Hold
Hey.
on. Everybody say hi to Mage and everybody wish JR a happy birthday.
Happy birthday, JR.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday, JR. Should we sing?
Well, we can sing. I can sing. It's not good, but I'll sing.
Oh, there's no need in all that, but thank you. I just want to come in and say, looking good, Beck, and good to be here. I'll turn 63 tomorrow, and I know some of you probably don't know me.
I know I've seen you on Neil's, but we never got to talk directly.
A year ago, they didn't know if I was going to live or not. So, well, in July of a year ago, they didn't know if I was going to make it through the night. So it's kind of a special birthday.
Hats off, my friend. Hats off. That's amazing. I'm so happy that you're here a whole other year.
Yep.
And by the way, your voice is great.
Oh, thank you. It kind of grew on me. It's been a hard year. Been a lot of changes. A lot of adversity that I had to overcome. But I'm still here. So, yeah.
Damn straight you are. You're still here. That's what's important.
Yeah. So that's why I wanted to wish JR a happy birthday, because I knew he was going through all that crap. And it's great to see you, man. For real.
Well,
it really is.
Congratulations on still holding on to the spinning ball.
Hey, I'm going to try and go around it a couple more times at least.
Well, it's better to be here because over there has its own problems.
Yeah, I figured,
Do you see what Aaron just said, Beck? JR kicked the Reaper in the teeth. Nice.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, he did. You guys, yeah, you're right, he did.
Not this year.
Yeah, because
that's the problem.
They told my daughter.
I have, Aaron and Carrie. I look people in the eye, and it makes them uncomfortable, and then they don't like me.
It does.
Well,
if you look down at the ground, they think you're a pussy. So what do you do?
I had been told for years about the eye contact thing, and unfortunately now I overcompensate that I tend to stare at people, and that makes them uncomfortable.
Oh, absolutely it does.
So I missed that, what's the comfortable ground in the middle?
I look at the bridge of their nose. That's where I look. It makes them think I'm looking in their eyes, but it's at the bridge of the nose.
Yeah, I look at either the forehead or the neck and chin.
Well, and like I was saying before, I'm not as visually oriented as most people. So like my friends, the people who really get to know me, will come to understand that when I'm really trying to listen intensely, I'll take off my glasses and close my eyes.
There we go.
Attention.
I'd like a person to look me in the eye. It shows me that to me it's a respect thing because I'm always going to look somebody in their eyes.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
But if I close my eyes, I'm less distracted by things in the room, so I'm more focusing on their voice.
The thing with autism, eye contact can be unnerving.
Yep.
Absolutely, it can be unnerving. It actually shies most autistic people away because they don't know they don't understand the appropriate response to it.
Yep.
But with people like Beck and I, it was our raising. We looked people in the eye. Even when you was getting a tongue lash and you stood there and you looked them in the eye, so you felt the weight of what they were saying to you, and it wasn't an option.
That's right.
That's the way I was brought up. It was a sign of respect to look somebody in the eye.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. It was.
And you
that's
say,
why
yes,
I have.
Yes, sir. No, sir. Yes, ma'am. No, ma'am.
That's right. You shake their hand with a good grip. You look them in the eye when you do it. You
say
something, you mean it.
Yep. That is one thing I really hate is a fish, a
handshake.
Fish handshake.
I hate it too. I hate it when people expect it from me because I'm a woman. I'm like, no, come on, give me a handshake. This is a real handshake now. Come on.
Met this guy at work. He's the lead driver, right? He did that to me.
Oh.
And then I found out from like 3 different people that he likes to run his mouth about people. And I was like, yeah, I already knew that.
So conversely, you
Didn't
don't
even
want to
look me in
do.
the eye, but for a split second, he was like, yeah, I know.
No, I'm not
you
gonna.
also, you also
not
don't
gonna-
want the handshake where you crush the person's hand either.
Yeah, I'm not going to crush somebody's
No.
hand, but I'm going to give them a good, good squeeze anyway. They
No,
know I'm
crushing
there.
their
JR, wait a
hands
minute.
is called being an asshole. Okay, you don't need to crush their
JR
hands.
won.
I agree.
JR will understand this move, and I bet actually I bet all of you except for Deb will get this move. So he's like, come on, I'll show you where to go to get your credentialing done, because you have to get like put in the system and blah blah blah, and then they give you credentials, and then you can drive a vehicle and get a gas card and all that shit, right? So I'm like, sure, and he's like starts to kind of like haha joke around with me, but it's not anything that's really funny. And he grabs my muscle right here. What do you guys think he did? He's
Tightened
he tried
down
to
on it,
squeeze
didn't he?
He
Yeah,
tried
he
to
did.
squeeze it to like
Yeah,
show
I did. Uh-huh.
something over me, like to make me go, ah.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
And you know what I did?
Challenger
I kept
dominance
joking around
thing.
with him. I just kept joking around with him, looking right at him and walking along like, yeah, man. And
Was
eventually
that
just
supposed
like,
to
no.
mean something?
Like, you ain't gonna hurt me like that. You don't know me, bro. You don't even know. Like, you'd have to like stick your thumb into my freaking clavicle to get me to fucking respond. And I
Yeah.
probably would just punch you at that point.
Yeah, like I said, I thought I'd come in and spend a little bit of time this evening with y'all in my new apartment, which is a
Nice.
big change. So yeah.
Good.
Well,
Good.
I wish I knew somebody who had a 3D scanner and printer to, scan my left hand and then do a mirror image to print out the pieces missing from my right fingers. Just because I think it would be hilarious if somebody shakes my hand too hard and my fingers fall off. Can you imagine their reaction?
Purple, you're fucked up, but I love you. You're my kind of fucked up.
Shake your hand. What did you do to me?
Oh my god! Ah. That's
mean,
like the guy that had a fake knife finger thing, where you put your fingers in the knife or something, and he had put ketchup around it. Or no, it was a vice or something weird like that. He was in the garage. He yells for his life, help, help. She's like, oh my God, I don't know what to do. He's like, I need a such and such. And she's like looking for it. And he takes his hand away from the table, points at what he needs to get his hand loose. No, it's over there in the second drawer. And he puts his hand back. She doesn't even notice. He did it to her like 3 times. And he was like, my wife is so blonde. Watch this.
No, that's
true,
not
man.
blonde. That's, she's in an emergency situation and focused on a single thing. So she's not going to notice anything else.
She just didn't. Yeah. But they laughed about it at the end of it. She smacked the shit out of him. But
Yeah,
it was
I
funny.
definitely would have decked him for that.
Oh, he showed that too. He showed her smacking him in the head. Yeah. She like smacked the shit out of his head, like the side of his head. He showed it. He left it on there. He goes, yeah, I deserve that. Yeah. He was pretty cool, but it's kind of like, I think it's one of those things they fuck with each other sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I think that's the only thing that's really gotten me anywhere in life is the fact that my mother and father made us, well, my father particularly, made us look people in the eye. Because when you do that with older folk, they know that you are fucking serious and you're not bullshitting and you're not pulling their leg and you're not, you're just being honest. Like they know. Because like JR said, that's a sign of respect. When somebody doesn't look you in the eye, that's when they are, whatever they're saying is either bullshit
Or you're less than.
Or they think they're less or something. Yes. And it shows you, it shows like employers and stuff a lot about you to look them in the. So this is how deadly honest I am. The last couple jobs I've gotten, I looked them dead in the eye and said, you'd be a fool not to hire me. And they were like, oh, really? And I'm like, yeah. And they're like, why is that? And I'm like, well, I'm rarely sick. I'm a workaholic. I don't like to take lunches. I only take them if you force me to. I like to work straight through the whole entire day. And at the end of the day, every day, I like to know that I got my job done properly and my mind is clear so I can go home and relax and not worry about it. And every time I've said that, they hired me on the spot because I looked them dead in the eye and said it.
That's the thing, though. You know, the problem is with that, and because I'm the same way nowadays, Beck, is that then when they get you in there and you're doing exactly what you told them you would do and being brutally honest to other people, they're like, oh, you need to tone it down. Fuck, I told you what I was going to be like when I got this job. You hired me anyway. Now you want me to tone it down.
You're too brash.
Yeah.
I got fired because of that.
Yeah.
You're too brash. I'm too brash. Really, that's funny because I worked for you for like 3.5 months and everything was no, I worked for him for 6 months part-time. They made me a manager. I did the manager job for 3.5 months. Everything was fine until I came out of the closet. It was the first time I ever admitted anything about myself. I like girls.
Who the fuck cares if you like?
I was magically fired because he was flirting with me every day, Deb.
That's the guy. Okay,
I don't want his dick.
Well, no, why would you?
That's what it was. So he didn't fire me. He was at that store every fucking morning when I was there. Every fucking morning. He didn't show up that morning and had the supervisor manager who worked out at the other store come down to this store and fire me.
Yeah, no.
Pussy.
Yeah.
Fucking pussy.
No.
I said to Jim, I said, why don't you tell him to come down here and fire me to my face?
To my face,
Jim's
right?
like this. He's got his arms crossed. He's looking at the ground. He's like, it's out of my hands.
No. I can't do anything about it.
You know, I don't like this, but you know, I'm like, cause you know, it's fucking wrong. And he's like,
yeah.
Well, all I know is, I'm just, I have to let you go. That's all I know. He would not look at me cause he was like a buddy of mine. He knew it was bullshit.
Yeah.
But he knew he also knew that in about 6 years he was going to retire with a fucking pension.
So you have to take in consideration his position and your position.
And I knew why.
Yeah.
I knew why. I said, I don't hate you, but you and I both know this is bullshit. And when I said that, his head dropped farther down, like he was looking at his feet only. And I said, have a nice life. And I jumped in my car and left. Yeah,
so, JR, I walked out to get another drink, but did I miss anything about you telling the group about who you are? I'm not familiar with you. I'd like to get to know you more. Is that possible? Or is it not appropriate for the conversation we're having right now, Beck?
I don't give a shit. People can talk about whatever you want.
I mean, I don't know what you, I mean, you know, I'm not.
Wayne, what's up, buddy?
Are you married? Do you have kids?
I'm single, widowed.
I'm sorry for your loss, sir.
My wife in 2014.
I'm very sorry to hear that.
I have one daughter.
Excellent.
Will turn 39 the 26th of this month.
Wow.
So yeah. And
no grandbabies.
She's also single. She wasn't able to have children, so.
You know, my kids don't have that excuse. I'm 53 and still have no grandbabies. And my kids are 33, 27, and 24. And I'm like, could you all have babies? They're like, no, we ain't having no babies, Mama. I'm like, okay, great, thanks.
But that's okay because my brother had 9 children by 6 different women that we know of.
Wow. Wow.
So he's got a passel of grandchildren, which he has nothing to do with.
Oh, wow.
Oh, man.
I feel like we might have.
He got married to another woman, and he has nothing to do with his grandchildren.
That's too bad.
He now has great grandchildren that he has never seen, which I
love.
And
so you're the great uncle. You're the okay.
He's grandpa.
I have a t-shirt.
He just took the spot.
I have a t-shirt hanging in the closet, and it was given to me by one of my great nieces, and she said, "It's world's greatest Uncle Grandpa."
Uncle Grandpa, nice, nice.
That's awesome, man.
I think we might have a little bit in common because I have like 28 or 29 nieces and nephews, and now I have 17 or 18 great nieces and nephews, and they all call me when they're in trouble. Every one of them. Aunt Deb, we need to talk. How am I going to handle this? What should I do? I'm like, oh shit. So I became the fun aunt who will give advice and not. They don't think I tell their parents, but I do. I'm like, this is where I'm at. What do you want me to come at them with? Let's be honest here. Let's just handle the situation. So I appreciate that about you.
That's one thing. That's one thing I don't do. I don't go back to their parents and tell them what they've said to me. I talk them into doing that themselves.
Agreed. And I would
and
want her to
now,
be on. Go ahead.
I'm teaching 2 of them to drive right now. So
Cool.
that's kind of it.
Hell yeah, Grandpa. That's great. That's
they
great.
Say they say their mama make them too nervous to drive, and so
I understand that. I do. And just to
I don't yell. I don't get excited. I just tell them, whoa.
Okay, slow down. Yeah. Nice. I will have to say though, the only time I did actually go to their parents was when it was involving something illegal, and I knew one of my nephews, because they're lovely individuals, was going to get arrested, and I didn't know how to handle it. I'm like, what do you want me to do? You want me to call the cops so you're not the bad guy? What do you want me to do here? So
I haven't had to deal with that yet.
Well, good. I'm glad to hear that.
My niece, let me see, my great niece, the one that gave me the T-shirt, lives 4 blocks from me now.
See, that's great.
She's going to cosmetology school right now, and also
Excellent.
working a job. When she gets done with that, she wants to go in the Peace Corps.
Whoa, you go, girl.
And do a tour with the Peace Corps. And then when
That's
she gets
awesome.
back from that, start medical school. So.
Oh, good for her.
And she has the brains to do it.
That's excellent.
Great.
But she figures she can do cosmetology work, hairdressing and stuff.
Yeah.
While she's going to school. Medical school.
Oh, absolutely.
Make enough money to support everything.
I agree with her 100%. Because anything in medicine is really expensive to go to school. I was a paramedic for a very long time, and it's expensive schooling. It really is.
Well, yeah, and the higher up you go, the more money it is, and the more years it is.
Yeah, that's truth.
I've worked at a lot of different jobs in my 50-something years of working. Because I started rebuilding engines when I was 12. I lapped my first set of valves in when I was 8 years old, my hand.
Damn.
So I've been working a long time because my dad did mechanic work in the garage. And yeah, I got to do most, once I got big enough, I'd rebuild the engines, and Dad would come in and check the torque and stuff. And he'd say, all right, put the fans on it, get it ready. So, yeah. And then we moved, down to Arkansas. And then it was farm work. And I worked with Dad in mechanic. He had opened a mechanic, welding, and machinist shop, which I got to learn all 3. My grandfather was a blacksmith, so I got to learn that also.
That's a great skill to have.
So
cool.
Yeah, that's pretty much what I've worked in. It was those areas, or some when I get burnt out, like on mechanic work or something, I'd go find me a little job somewhere for a while.
So JR, Carrie Ann's right. She might find some joy or some fulfillment in disaster relief, because as a paramedic, I was part of the Nevada Red Cross Relief Fund. So like we would go places and we would do stuff for the Red Cross during natural disasters. It was absolutely amazing. So she might get some fulfillment out of it. You don't make any money because you're a volunteer, but it gives you experience that you cannot trade for the world.
But they pay your way, like for everything you need. They pay for you to get there. They pay for your lodge. They pay for everything for you. So all you have to do is just go do it.
Yeah.
She said the reason she was talking about the Peace Corps is because they will help her get her medical stuff started.
Yes, they will. They absolutely will.
they'll put her in as a aide or whatever, and give her schooling and stuff. So
no, they absolutely will. And then once she gets some of the first level skilling, if she gets like EMT basic, EMTI, EMTP, whatever the case is, because then she can apply it to the Red Cross and get experience that you cannot get anywhere else. So it's like a dual step, Peace Corps, then the Red Cross, and it's something she can get a lot of skills that will apply to her medical degree.
But yeah, she's smart. She's thinking.
I have no doubt. That's awesome.
For an 18-year-old, she's thinking.
Oh, she's 18 and she's
18.
on that track. Good for her. That's
Yeah.
awesome.
That's freaking
No,
great.
she's not fucking around. She's jumping in with both feet. I can respect that.
Yeah. Ditto.
She took my advice on some things anyway. I told her, get good grades, graduate, and then do what you want. If you want to do another 8 years of school, fine, whatever. Just do what you want. Don't do what you have to. Do what you want.
Yeah, absolutely.
I
Doing
enjoyed
what you have
working
to
on.
sucks most of the time.
I enjoyed working on vehicles. Of course, the cars kept getting smaller, and I kept getting bigger. You'll understand what I'm saying when I tell you I'm 6'5" and weigh 255 right now, which is
you big boy. You a big boy.
Yeah, he's tall as hell.
I kept getting bigger. Cars kept getting smaller, so I switched over to diesel trucks and started working on diesels. So
that amazes me because, like, my kid's 6'5", and I know how big he is. But because he weighs about 230 and he looks thin at 6'5".
He weighs 230. He looks scrawny as hell.
Yeah, I was gonna say that.
Hold on 1 second. The dog opened the door. It's not my fault. Okay, I'm back.
For 6'5",
245
isn't that big?
245. I thought I looked my best when it's about 245.
We all know what 6'3" and 215 pounds looks like.
Well, yeah, we do. But I mean, if I was to show you a picture of my son, you would not believe that he weighs as much as he does. Nowhere near. But
people don't think I weigh that much.
Yeah. So, when you're that tall, you can carry a lot of weight. You really can.
When you're that tall, it doesn't look like as much.
Hello, captive.
The reason I said, oh, wow, is because my nephew is around 6'6", and he is built like a football player because he used to be. So he's got like huge arms, huge legs. Like he jokes around, and they'll put his daughter's like 3 or 4, and they'll put her in like those little jumpers and shit. You know what I mean? Like overalls and stuff, Deb, with the shorts. Mm-hmm. And he just picks her up and carries her down by his side, and she just laughs her ass off because she's so tiny compared to him,
Oh, yeah.
I mean, his wife comes up to his nipples. I'm not kidding. His wife, she's like 5'3". She comes up to his nipples, I think.
I'll check on this.
and she's a beautiful young girl, and they have this beautiful but he just lugs her around like a sack of groceries. And the pictures, the kids laugh at her ass off. She just loves it.
My wife was 5'4" and she come to about my nipples.
Yeah, I was.
And I'd reach down. Now, when the kid was small, I could reach down and grab her by the butt and just pick her up in my hand and carry her. And that's the way she rode. She'd lay back on my arm, and she was fine.
Just good to go.
Look, I have a baby.
No, exactly. Like, because JR, I'm 5'2", and my ex-husband is 6'6". That's where I got the 6'5" son. And man, I'll tell you what, when that baby was born, he was all head. When he started to learn how to sit up, his head would drag him over and he'd fall over all the fucking time because he's just always such a big boy. But there are pictures of him when he was little of me grabbing him by his back straps of his overalls and just picking him off of the ground because he was going nuts. And I think it's just cute. It's so cute when you can do that with a kid.
Yeah.
Well,
I used to play with my niece like that. I'd pick her up and drop her on the couch face first. She would laugh her ass off. She loved it.
I had it the other way around. That my oldest daughter, her father was like 6'5" construction worker.
Yeah.
So by the time she was 11, she was taller than me and outweighed me.
Yeah, that's pretty much me too. I think he was 10 when he was taller than I was. I'm like, you little fucker. Couldn't you just put a brick on your head or something?
Yeah. My daughter's 5'9", so.
Yeah.
But now it's 13 pounds when I was born. So.
Yeah. See, my kid was
Wow.
10 pounds and 24 inches. He was big boy. Big boy.
So yeah, I come out that way and just kept growing. They told me they say I slept for the first 6 months.
It doesn't surprise me. My son ate for the first 6 months.
every picture you see of me when I was little, I'm asleep. So
You were like, "What the fuck is this? I need a minute."
I'm tired.
No, it's for real. Like, cause my kid, like, of course I was nursing
tired.
initially, and like I went to the doctor. I said I can't keep up with this kid. He wants to be on the breast like every 20 minutes. He's he's huge. Feed him cereal, so he'll get. And I started feeding him cereal, so he get finally full, and he slept and slept and slept some more. So. You know, your mom obviously was doing a great job of feeding you because I couldn't keep up with mine.
They started feeding me off the table when I was 3 months old.
That makes sense. Totally makes sense. Yeah.
So yeah, Daddy said, "No."
Now we need to feed this little bugger.
He said that boy big enough to eat. You know? I was the only one. There was 3 of us, and I was the only one they bought a stroller for. Because whenever
They were like, "I ain't
Because
carrying
you're
that
too
boy
goddamn
around.
heavy.
I'm carrying a fucking Thanksgiving turkey with you."
They had went to take a bunch of the clothes back to Sears because I couldn't wear none of them. I mean, I was too big for newborn clothes.
Oh, of course.
So they're walking through Sears in Kansas City was a high rise, like, I don't know, 10, 11 stories, whatever it was.
Mm-hmm.
And huge store. So they're going through the baby section, and they've already walked through this store, you know, and they kept passing me back and forth. Dad said, felt like you weighed 40 pounds.
Yeah.
And they walked by the strollers, and they just stuck me in the stroller and paid for it on the way out.
And that was it.
That sounds like something I would have done
solved.
too. Yeah.
You didn't want to give your mom a bad back, did you, man?
Yeah.
Shit. My kid did give me a bad back. Oh, wait. No, that's not fair. It started.
No,
but
emergency
it's not fair.
medicine gave you a bad back.
Yeah, you're right. It did. God damn it.
I don't think it.
But
I
you
don't
know
think
what?
a woman,
You saved a lot of lives. So
I don't think a woman has a baby without having some kind of problems from it. I mean.
Oh no, I agree with you 100%. I do. And thank you for saying that, Beck. Yeah, I did. Thinking back on it, I saved more lives than the pain I'm in every day, so it's worth it.
So yeah, it's not as easy as people think being big.
No, it's not. There's so many things. Like, honestly, when we moved into this new rental house, we just moved in like 3 weeks ago. We had to tell our son, I'm like, son, when you walk into any of the bedrooms, stop before you enter the door frame, because we all have ceiling fans, and those ceiling fans will fucking hit you in the forehead. And he's like, oh, whatever, Mom. He got here. It's like, oh shit, she's right. They will hit me in the freaking forehead and knock me out. It's not easy.
That's one.
My nephew has rules. My nephew has rules. There is nothing hanging from his ceilings.
Yeah.
Because he will hit his head on all of it, because most ceilings are what, 7 or 8 feet?
Yeah.
Get 8 feet typical ceilings in a house, and he's 6'6". So you put up a ceiling fan, you know what that is? That's eyeball height.
No, exactly.
That's what that is.
Exactly.
Yeah, I'm in a wheelchair now. I lost one leg. I lost part of one leg, and the other one's not any good. So the other leg's not any good. So I'm just, in a wheelchair, so I don't have to worry about that now. But used to, that was one of my worst fears was ceiling fans.
Fucking ceiling fans, right? Yeah.
Yeah, because we were at a flea market, and this little flea market, it was all these individual buildings, like the little shop building things, And my wife was behind me, and I went in, and I had to duck through the door. And when I started to stand up, I heard, and I went backwards to get away from it. I knew what it was, and I went backwards to get away from it.
Fucking ceiling fan about to knock you out.
knocked my
Jesus.
wife down, and I looked through the door and looked up, and it was one of those old metal bladed fans.
Oh
Oh my
God!
God.
They should not have that below 7 feet. That's
That's
bullshit.
stitches right there. That ain't even just a thunk. That's stitches.
I just took the top of my head off.
Damn near, huh?
Damn.
Yeah. So, like I said, when I went to stand up, I heard it, poof, 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 and
It's when we bought my car, my Toyota Camry. I asked them, give me the tallest salesman that you have. They're like, why is she asking this, right? I'm like, sit in the back seat. Tell me, are you comfortable? He was like 6'4". He goes, yeah, I'm comfortable. Actually, there's a little bit of leg room here. I'm like, okay, we can buy this car. Because at the time, my son was only 6'2". He was a junior in high school. By senior year, he was 6'5". So, like it was better that we, had to, you have to adjust things for tall people. You just have to. You can't expect them to adjust to everything, I mean, if you're over 7 foot tall, can you actually fly in a plane?
actually, Andre the Giant did.
Did he?
But he took 2 seats, and when they were in like a private plane, he was actually sat there, but he was sitting sideways, like leaned over.
Yeah, he was he was just a big MFer.
Yeah, he was huge. I met him actually.
Did you?
Yeah, he actually shook my hand, and my hand disappeared, which is not normal for me.
Not at all,
Yeah,
sir.
no
Not
shit,
at all.
right?
I was like 14 by then. I was already, over 6 feet.
I hear he's a really nice guy.
After he shook my hand, he patted me on top of the head.
That has never happened before, had it?
He said, "Quit growing," and then that laugh he did, and then he went to the ring.
Yeah, I hear he was a really
awesome.
nice guy.
I heard he was a nice guy too. I mean,
he was. I mean, I met him. He was fantastic. He joked around with me. He didn't know me. I was, just somebody standing there, as they were coming down.
My brother-in-law was working airport security when he flew into Minneapolis one time. He was saying the same thing, that he was just joking with everybody coming through.
Mm-hmm.
But that had to be, he had to have it. It had to be hard on him.
Oh God, being that big.
They said he had a great attitude, and everything. But people would stare and point and make
absolutely, because he was diagnosed with gigantism or whatever it is called.
When he was out in public.
None.
Yeah,
I mean, he was, unless he was at a bar drinking,
then everybody did, right?
Yeah, it's not like he could go someplace and blend into the crowd.
Yeah, that's very true. I when I was a paramedic in Las Vegas, I worked a couple of WrestleMania events, and I think that people might not agree with me, but Hulk Hogan was the biggest ass I've ever met in my life. He was horrible to people, whereas like people like Lex Luger and Sting. I was running a call and somebody had fallen and dislocated their elbow, so I had to get them out of the camera angle and back to the medic room. And I rounded the corner and I was running full out and I ran into Sting. And let me tell you, that was like hitting a brick motherfucking wall, okay? I'm only 5'2". He is like 6'5". I hit him. I fell back on the ground. I'm like, I gotta go. Got the guy. Went and got everything I could for him for like his morphine and all that stuff. And then he actually came back into the medic room because I just wanted to make sure you were okay. Like, what a nice guy. Whereas Hulk Hogan said, get the fuck out of my way. I have to work here. I'm like, motherfucker, there's a medical emergency. Why are you being such a dick? But I guess that sometimes it happens. I don't know.
White rich guy. I mean, it's a bad combination normally.
I met the Junkyard Dog at a restaurant.
I heard he was awesome. I heard he was awesome too.
He bought my dinner.
Nice guy.
Because there was no other table to sit at, and there was just me and my wife, and it was just him. And I seen him standing, and I'm like, "You're JYD?" And he said, "Yeah." I said, "You don't have a place to sit?" He said, "No." I said, "Well, have a seat.
Please come sit with me." Yeah.
So,
really.
He's like, "Cool." So sat there and talked, and he ate his dinner, and we ate, and he grabbed the check, wouldn't let me.
Wow.
He said, no. He says, I'm going to pay for you and your wife. He said, you enjoyed it. I hope.
How you enjoyed it? You enjoyed that you could like he could actually sit and have a normal dinner with you. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, I seen him standing there. I didn't know why. I mean, I knew the restaurant was kind of full, you know. But
Yeah.
You know, there was no table. So.
You know, it's funny. Like the other thing that I've always loved about Sting and Lex Luger, even though they got bad names for whatever the shit they did on the side, I don't care. They came back after they checked on me, and I said, "No, I'm fine. Everything's good. You know, thank you for being concerned because you are a much bigger individual than I am. Because at the time, I weighed about I was a tiny, tiny gal, and." They went and they saw my sign that I brought for my daughter. It said Future Nitro Girl, and I wanted to get the Nitro Girls to sign it for her. They took it and had all of the Nitro Girls sign that thing for my daughter, plus they signed it. So she had this memorabilia for years. And they were just like, we're so sorry we like got in your way. And I'm like, you didn't get in my way. You were doing your thing. I'm doing my thing. It's all cool. But the whole time I was like, holy shit, fucking Sting is talking to me, full makeup, like, holy shit, but he was just him and Lex Luger. Exactly. Him and Lex Luger were really good guys. They really were.
Neat.
It was very neat. It was very, very neat. Because, a lot of it's set up. Like, I worked a couple events where, like, okay, so this person's going to come out and they're going to hit him with a steel chair. I'm like, that ain't fucking steel. That's aluminum, motherfucker. Yeah. But whatever, right? I'm going to hit him with a chair and he's going to cut open. They literally did still in the 90s cut open their own foreheads.
Yeah.
And they're like, they're going to be bleeding. They're going to call for medics. Are you going to come out? I'm like, oh, fuck, all right, I'll come out, whatever. And some of them were really cool. Like I'm like, you want it authentic, you're going to have to get people to get the fuck off me because that's just the way it's going to work, right? And I'd slide under there and I'd put the thing on. I'd be like, get back, trying to act it up a little bit. Some wrestlers were like, look, you don't tell us what the fuck to do. Other wrestlers were like, yeah, let's make this as authentic as possible. She's being bossy, whatever. So, it just is what it is. I know, Beck. It's hard to believe that I'm a bossy bitch. I know.
That's funny. No, when it comes to something you're serious about,
yeah,
I didn't want to drink water, and she's like, "Oh, motherfucker, you're drinking water," and I was like, "Yes, ma'am, I am." I said, "Yes, ma'am, I am," and I took that water and I drank it.
That is a direct quote, y'all. I'll go on record saying that is a direct quote because he didn't want to drink water.
I wasn't that fucked up on meds. I remember that shit.
I literally said, "Oh, motherfucker, yes, you are." And I brought him water and he started drinking it without a problem. Oh, I'd forgotten about that, Beck. Thank you for the good laugh there.
You're welcome.
That's funny. Sorry.
It is pretty funny. So what do you guys think? We're at like 3.5 hours.
Ooh. It's amazing how fast the time flies when I am speaking with you people because it doesn't feel like that long at all.
I was surprised you guys were still going when I came back.
Oh, I'm known to do 5.5 hour streams. It's not even like when we used to stream last year and before, it was always like a 4-hour stream.
Yeah.
So I usually say something around this time and we usually stop within an hour. So go ahead.
Back when I was working on movie night on Fridays, when it was successful, we would sometimes go 6-8 hours on a show.
Yee. I don't know.
We would be bunking flat Earth.
Yeah.
I spent 2.5 hours in a show with Beck one night, and I left, and Beck was still going. So,
wow.
I'm like, I gotta go lay down.
A few years ago, it used to be that Lavender Lady and I got on a stream together. We'd run 7 to 9 hours.
Jeepers,
creepers. Through the night till the sun was coming up.
Yep. She's not kidding.
I've done that once or twice on a marathon, but I don't think I can handle it anymore. I can't do I get desperate and I get delusional and I start making stupid comments. Like I've had people come in and go, "Deb, are you okay?" I'm like, "No, I'm freaking tired." They're like, "Let's take over for you." I'm like, "Thank you."
Yeah, I don't do that anymore. I usually cut them off around 2 hours now.
What the hell does that mean, Aaron?
Jesus, Aaron.
The only reason you got a live today was because I didn't have to work. I will no longer be streaming on Mondays. They are the busiest day of the week because everybody has Sunday off, and you end up with like 2 days worth of shit to work on. And you got to bust that shit out and get caught up within like 2 days, because if you don't, it don't go away. The
It just keeps
packages are still
stacking up.
waiting for you to deliver them. Yeah, exactly. They don't disappear. So, and then, towards the end of the week, it calms down some. And then Saturdays are really, not a big deal. Small loads on those days.
So what night are you going to be on?
It's probably going to have to be Sundays.
Sundays. Yeah.
I think Sunday
then,
before Maya.
Okay.
And I'm gonna adjust my schedule to whatever works with Beck's schedule, because for those of you who
you
don't
can
know,
have Mondays. I can't do it. Mondays are yours.
but you're my producer. How am I gonna do shit if you're not there?
Well, that's a good fucking question, isn't it?
See, we're having an argument whether or not I should pay him to be my producer, and he's losing
no
because
argument.
I'm more
shouldn't.
stubborn. I should just shut up. We'll figure it out, Beck. But I am coming back, y'all. I am absolutely coming back. I'm hoping to be back on the air with Let's Get Real About Mental Health as soon as possible, as soon as I get this computer thing worked out. And thank you, Beck, for all the encouragement to come back. I appreciate you so very much.
You're welcome. No worries.
On that note, I'm going to bail out because I'm tired and my back is killing me. So I'm going to take some more pain meds. So I love you guys all so much. It was so good seeing all of you again. I appreciate it very much. Love you.
Love you too, sweetheart.
Love you. Love you. Y'all have a good night now. Bye.
Take care.
Don't get caught.
Good meeting you.
Don't get caught. Oh, my goodness.
Am I going to have to move movie night considering how crowded Sunday's getting?
I don't know.
Well,
it's just
your
the only
poll
day
did
I
come
know
in
I
as a
have
tie.
off every
Yeah.
week. So, well, it was
I've actually thought about
said,
doing a.
well, it was lovely for y'all to have me. Oh my God, you guys are too funny. Wayne said Undertaker was the nicest guy when not enforcing locker room rules. So wild. Really? Huh.
Never got to meet him. Would like to, though.
Cool. All right, guys. Well, I'm going to end this shit.
All right.
So,
thanks for letting me
again,
in. Beck.
yeah, no, I was going to say thanks everybody for coming in and the people still listening in the background and letting me run while they're doing other things. I love you and appreciate you. And those of you in the chat, it's been a great conversation and I appreciate all the honesty and openness and, we can all get to know each other a little better. So I love that. Does anybody have anything to shill for themselves?
Well, you've got my whole panel here. If you want to drop in Wednesday afternoons at 2 Central, you'll have Mage Jenny and I every week.
Guaranteed. And JR, happy birthday again. And again, wonderful to see you. And Neil's back to streaming now, so maybe we'll see you in the chats up there too. And always welcome back over here, of course.
Okay, I was wondering why he hadn't been streaming. So
he decided to take August off.
Ah, okay.
Yeah,
but
so
I want to say,
yeah,
to everybody, I don't have anything to shill, I guess, but be kind to yourself and be kind to others. Much love to all of you.
It's funny you say that because what I've always said is be good to yourself, be good to each other, and have peace in your life.
All right, you crazy people. You stay cool. Keep it real. Keep an eye out for each other. Suck in that content you love. Dance like nobody's watching. Go after your passions and enjoy them. I'm out. Peace.